control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wanna wait. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh,
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
Oh yeah. Are we talking about losing control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wanna wait. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh,
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
about losing control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wanna wait. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh,
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
We'll get food after I'm done.
always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh.
I like losing control. I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
Oh, yeah. Are we talking about losing control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wanna wait. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh.
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
yeah. Are we talking about losing control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wanna wait. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh.
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
hard for me to let go, but I think that I'm finally feeling good again. So hard cause I loved you, but I'm finally feeling like myself. All of the wounds that were opened by you are now closing. I finally know how to live without hurting myself. I think that I am moving on cause I do feel less broken. I needed a sign, this is a sign that I'm healing. I'm finally healing from you. I'm finally healing from you. I'm finally healing. I'm finally healing from you. I'm finally healing. Oh, oh. I'm finally healing from you. Finally healing. I know I make mistakes, don't mean to come off hardy. I'm just an imperfect person in this imperfect world, but I'm learning my way under this maze that I'm running through. Now when I think of you, I'm fine. See a picture of you, it would eat me alive. And now when I think of you, I'm fine. And all of the wounds that were opened by you are now closing. I finally know how to live without hurting myself. I think that I am moving on cause I do feel less broken. I needed a sign, and this is a sign that I'm healing. I'm finally healing from you. I'm finally healing from you. Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave, I call you right back to check for monsters in my sheets. Yeah, high school was hard. You'd fight with my mom, I'd fall asleep to the treatment sound machine, always speaking, left emotional scars. Now I'm 21, a soul of 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21, a soul of 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21. At 21. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21. I'm just a kid. Oh, I'm doing things I shouldn't know, bro. Yeah, doing things I shouldn't do. At 21. Yeah, I play you my favorite songs on a car ride while you list me all the people that left you in your life. Oh, oh. And you'd smoke on your chair while I was trying to sleep. I smell the smoke in the air, but that was normal for me. I didn't know. I didn't know. But now now I'm 21. It's all of 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21, feels like I'm 50s. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21, oh, at 21, yeah, I'm 21. Oh, just a kid. Oh, I'm doing things I shouldn't know from. Doing things I shouldn't know. At 21. At 21. At 21. Whoa. I'm 21.
it doesn't seem particularly great this game. Maybe they didn't have something very comfortable for them.
When you're thinking about counter pick with those lands, okay, CL isn't really a counter, but it's a decent land. Like you can play that.
Make it really easy.
Yeah. Ember Spirit is a good Terrorblade, so they ban that out, but there are still others that are in the field.
So VP Gaming, we're expecting them to grab their first core now, either a mid laner or a carry. Anything standing out here?
On the land, like sitting there
They're
in
really
their
there.
boots.
Humans.
Wow.
We're back.
We're back for real, at least in some regions.
Yep,
Hopefully everywhere across the board. Very
Future is
soon.
bright.
Soon, yeah.
Okay, so the Batrider banned out by... I'm not sure. Can we get a confirmation?
Yeah, you can see it's correct now. They
It's
changed
correct
it.
now,
It's
yeah.
correct. Oh,
Yeah,
thank God, finally. All right.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's LBZS on the left and VG Gaming on the dire.
So they're banning out the Batrider, and that makes me think they're thinking to ban out the Batrider versus Storm mid lane. But
Yep.
that's not the worst matchup.
It's not
for
a terrible
Storm,
matchup. It's
right?
good.
Like,
Yeah, it's very good for
yeah,
Storm.
It's good for Storm. So
Yeah.
I mean, with the Drow though, do you think it's kind of like you counter me, I counter you? You know, whoever gets the jump first is kind of in the driving seat with that one versus the Storm, because Storm can get on top of her as well, right?
Yeah, it's just the problem is if you want to jump on Drow, you have Shaker and Oracle and even Mars protecting the Drow, whereas
True.
Storm has no protection at all right now.
Yeah, you already mentioned the defensive supports, and now it kind of comes together. VG Gaming's master plan, as it were.
and
Yeah.
that Mars Arena
Entire
as
team
well
banned.
can protect you from that Terrorblade too. So
One of the
that's
best
also
heroes
nice.
against Terrorblade. That's why I'm so surprised they picked it into it. Even just in a team fight, you activate Meta, you use your third spell, all the attacks just go on the Mars and do
Yeah.
almost no damage.
Mm.
Yeah.
The Lash banned out. That's a hero as well that I haven't seen way too many times, but in all the picks in my pubs, it's dominated.
Yeah.
Like it looks strong, and I know you guys think that Mage Slayer might be an answer to him, but I haven't seen it in work yet, at least.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of players like still need to experiment around with it as well. What is it, DP?
Okay, okay.
It's a great hero with Drow Ranger, because it's like not your typical mid laner. It's more like of a tank mid laner. This just runs in and makes space for your Drow Ranger, while being able to absorb all the pain. So basically, they just have like a draft, 4 heroes that protect the Drow Ranger in the backline.
And that's the best way to play around her, right?
Yeah.
Like you just protect that triangle, let her farm up, get those few items. I'm not even sure what he's going to go for, but I suspect it's not going to be very different than before.
Or
With the
Dragonlance
lance
Manta,
and
probably.
Dragonlance Manta, yeah. When it comes to that Prophet, another thing why she's so good here is it allows them to push together, plus you have that Oracle save.
Nature's Prophet.
All right.
Interesting.
All right, so Nature's Prophet plus Tusk Lane is really strong. You're going to have that Nature's Prophet that can rotate across the map very easily behind that Prophet when the push starts. So I actually like both of these drafts. Maybe because of the Vici Gaming's name, I'd swing a little bit in their favor, but I'm not completely sold that what they have is much better.
I'm just very scared for their teamfight potential. Like VG Gaming cannot lose teamfights this game, I think. Like LBZS needs to split them and find pickoffs. They have a perfect lineup to do so, but it's a lot harder to do. The execution is much easier for VG.
Yep.
So I'm probably gonna lean towards VG as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to get on board the same boat, but I think I'm going to do it. I
Think
mean,
about the
LBZS
potential, guys. You
I know,
have
I
Storm,
know.
you have Tusk, you have Nature's Prophet. These heroes, they're so active and mobile if these guys play them well. And you know what? If there's an underdog, I always like to see them on an aggressive lineup, right? Like, I don't want to see an underdog playing these well-designed drafts around team fights and whatnot. Just give them bloodthirsty.
You don't want to see them draft a plan, you know, screw the
just-
plans, just run
give
at them.
something that's gonna run in. So
We spoke about it, right?
Yep.
If you're like the underdog, you just want to play to your strengths, and apparently what they like to do is just, pick people off one by one. What is team fighting?
yeah,
Who
who
cares?
cares, man?
Yeah.
Who cares? Just
Exactly.
Kill them.
Exactly. Alrighty, well, we have our drafts, you have your predictions, and we also have two very lovely casters. We're going to throw it across to B-Cop and Lacoste. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Nomad. I'm here with Lacoste, ready to go. First game of the Chinese season, ready to go. LBZS
Yeah, I'm
VG.
hyped, man. I've been waiting to, be part of the Chinese scene for a very long time. I've been only casting EU, CIS, and I think this one's gonna be really, really interesting. I like what the LBZS have, the last pick, Nature's Prophet, where they have a lot of ganking potential. This mobile lineup with the Tusk, with the Storm Spirit. I don't think they can take a lot of team fights, not until TB comes online.
Yeah.
They seem rather squishy, but like the pick-off potential is really there, and they should just try to separate the map, split the map, and go for the pick-offs.
Yeah, it's very interesting because you've got VG, who's obviously the namesake. Everybody knows VG, everybody knows these players, and then you've got LBZS, where maybe people don't know this team as well as a couple others in this league. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get the upset. Because taking a series off VG, first day of the league is definitely a massive motivator coming into the next few days
for
or
sure.
so. Or
I mean, you're playing as an underdog, so pretty much, you got nothing to lose. If you lose, that's fine. If you win, then you're like, yeah, this is a huge boost to our morale. Tusk in a bit of trouble.
Fissure comes in, first blood for VG.
Yeah, when
It's
we
as simple
say
as that.
trouble, that's kind of a dead Tusk. And he also started with the Boots of Speed, 8-1 Tango. Tough one for him, I would say. Undying also starting with the boots, so we have two Boots of Speed, position 4 and 5, with not much region. Like, I want to see how the top lane's going to go, how much pressure they can put onto the Drow Ranger. One of the reasons why they picked Nature's Prophet into Drow, did not want to have like a melee carry playing into Drow Ranger, something that we usually see, like Slaughter being just completely shut down in this type of a matchup.
So it'll be interesting to see what the build is, because I've noticed a lot of different 5 positions in China, at least. Ooh, hold on. MS getting got on here with DY still over bottom. They're trying to get the kill onto the Terrorblade. PYW with Old 11. Doesn't look like they'll have the damage to get the kill. Zhao Fu just throwing out a couple of decays here and there, trying to protect that TB. But what I was saying is, I've seen a lot of different builds from Undyings in the Chinese region. Is there anything from these matchups that would point towards something in particular for the Undying?
Yeah, the build on Undying is you get Boots of Speed Magic Wand, you're good to go for 25 minutes. Like, you don't need items on this hero, and he's probably the worst hero in the game to farm with. So you need to play super defensive, something they try to do on a Terrorblade. I've seen that in Europe, but I'll hold that thought. Young 11 dropping very low.
Yeah, about to get killed off here, but just has the movement speed to outpace both the TB and Zhao Fu, who didn't really have the mana to throw another decay.
I'm really surprised that Earthshaker is picked. Like, I've seen pretty much none of the Earthshaker in the other regions. The hero didn't receive like any buffs in the previous patch, just got that shard upgrade. Very dependent in terms of mana on the Earthshaker. Like, you throw a Fissure and that's it. But I guess he's just trying to secure the lane for Mars, pull the lane back, and the Mars is gonna farm. One thing they also try to do is kill off the TB. Like, I've seen that quite some time. Just use 3 heroes, go from the jungle and try to kill him, especially if he pops the meta, and then he comes back to a lane with pretty much nothing to farm with.
So over here top, we see Irving on the Nature's Prophet. A lot of global presence here for LBZS, especially once you've got like that Orchid on the Storm. Just go in, kind of coordinate with your Nature's Prophet, jump some of these supports, especially DY on this Oracle. They were talking on the panel about how Oracle might struggle quite a bit.
It's a tough matchup for Oracle. Like, you're playing against the Storm Spirit, Nature's Prophet. You also have Tusk with the Snowball. So, like, whenever you play against the Oracle, pretty much he is your clear target, especially if he's paired up with the Dead Prophet. So, yeah, tough one. His positioning needs to be perfect in this game.
nothing, you know, he's not a stranger to positioning well, saving his team, plays Oracle quite a bit. Won't be surprised to see him be that change in, that Vici kind of need.
But they can also cycle a couple of the abilities. You have Fisher, you have Mars Arena, so that's going to help out with protecting the Oracle.
Coming over towards mid, about to hit that 4-minute mark, 40 seconds or so. Expecting a lot of heroes to potentially rotate. They've already got both their 4s for each team over towards mid, ready to go. PYW about to throw that fissure. Block out that storm before he's got ball lightning. He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and Dusk, he knows something is up. He sees that Earthshaker is missing, so he also makes a rotation on a mid lane, has a block also for himself with that shard. Man, I remember when Ice Shard lasted for 7 seconds, level 1. That was so broken.
Instead, they focus their attention on PYW. They have this ward on the high ground. They'll look towards the bottom rune. Warrior already putting pressure on. They land the fissure onto Cat-U, and it ends up being top. So DY trying to go grab it, hit by that Vortex. Fortune's End. The fight is back and forth, and the deny on the rune.
And something that we've seen quite often where, you know, at least one, sometimes even 2 supports go and try to secure that 4-minute rune for their mid laners.
Who does that benefit, though? If you're denying the rune and, you know, both heroes are trying to pick up a bottle, obviously 5 minutes you can go pick up a bounty rune, but is denying that anything special? Is over bottom MS, God's Rebuke, and doing a lot of damage on the Old 11, forcing him back as they really want to make the move on bottom. Meanwhile, mid, Ori in some trouble. The Vortex was there, and they kill off the Death Prophet.
That's a big kill, because Death Prophet was level 5.5 and the Storm was level 4, so they needed to get Storm some levels. I believe he actually got the last hit as well, so some extra gold in his pockets. I think they need to talk this through, see how the itemization is going to go, because I see Nature's Prophet going for Orchid. That's at least what his has in the quick buy. Storm Spirit, also a hero that just wants to rush that item, so he might need to get something different, maybe like a Yule Scepter. He's playing into like double silence, into root mechanic from Oracle, so could be potentially a good item for him, because, you know, sometimes you expect different things from your offlaner, where you want him to be more tanky, like get a mech, maybe get a hood, a blink initiator, but
Great shards by Cat-U to get Erica in a bit of a bad spot. The Sprout comes in. They've got the control. They should be able to get the kill. They'll take out the Drought, and Old 11's down bottom. LBZS, they've got a kill on all the cores so far. But meanwhile, over mid, Storm loses his life. Good fissure there by PYW, blocking him in. They've used the Exorcism to try and take this tower, do as much damage as they can, and in the process, they kill off a Storm.
Yeah, Storm was very vulnerable. Like, I think they should have had a better read, because, you know, Death Prophet, she hits that level 6, there's a catapult, you know they want to make a move. Earthshaker, one of the heroes that also wants to make a lot of rotations early on, so either he needs to be in the jungle, farm that level 6 so he can jump over the Fissure, or just have one extra hero on a mid lane to try to defend him.
And with that kill, they also took the tower. That is a very early tier 1 mid to lose.
That's pretty big. You know, but we will say it's okay. We're back to lands. These games are being played at the LAN, so, you know, there's some tension, so a lot more mistakes are going to be made. You're not playing from home anymore.
And Cat-U loses his life. Yeah, that's the interesting part with the Chinese region. It's the only one, I believe, that's on full LAN, so lower division and upper division both playing on LAN. Sunder used as the arena comes out. MS will survive the attack coming through from Old 11.
Something that we usually don't see. Like, we see sometimes TBs having, you know, saving a point possibly.
For Old 11.
The
They've
snowball.
got the snowball. Good shards. Well placed. Old 11 going to lose his life. MS getting credit for that kill. Cat-U going around, and, you know, he's been involved in 3 of these kills already. DUI taking some pressure from X. Fortune's End thrown in. Ori trying to do what he can with Irving making the rotation. They kill off DY, and now they've got Ori in a bit of a bad spot. They sprout him up. Xiaofu moving forward, staying right on top of this Nature's Prophet. With Spirit Siphon, he's keeping himself alive a little bit. There's a snowball. As now in the snowball, Cat-U. Look at just the movement he's made. Sprout holds Ori in place for a second, but with Old 11 making the rotation, he backs off that. Down to about half health. God's Rebuke hits all 3 of these heroes. Now they've got the Crib Swarm. They'll take out Irving. They'll look over at Xiaofu. Zhao Fu, he's got himself 16 stolen strength, so a lot of health to his name. We'll see if it ends up being enough to get away from the hands of this Mars. Just running away as Old 11 makes the long chase. DY coming over, but they won't eventually finish off that kill. But up towards top, Erica in some trouble once again. X makes the move. Ball Lightning, Vortex, not a lot of mana to work with anymore, and won't finish off the Drow. But Cat Yu then losing his life to the Mars.
A lot of action happening in the top lane.
Irving coming
Prophet
over.
TPs. Oh, misses the Sprout. That would have been for sure a kill, because Drow Ranger does not have a Quelling Blade against the Sprout, and she just buys tangos. Like, you need to have either like running tangos or you need to have a Quelling Blade.
People talk about how the Chinese region is normally slow, 2 kills in the first 20 minutes, just farming. Got 10 kills here, 9 minutes in. And you've got Ori pushing again. Exorcism
That's
through
a dead
bottom.
tower. I mean, they use Glyph, but I don't think anyone wants to make a rotation. They also cut down all the trees, so if anyone tries to TP, they're gonna see him. So that's a pretty big move.
Quick pause in the action. Happens on LAN. You know, just because you're in one place doesn't mean sometimes there's a little bit of technical difficulties. But it's quick. We're ready to go again.
We always say it's a quick pause. We never know. We lie to you. You know, I'm just really revealing some of the caster's secrets. But yeah, this tower on the bottom will definitely go down. And UIW, man, he's having a really good time on this Earthshaker.
DY not having the best time. Good arena around both Irving and Cat Yu. They'll take on the Tusk, they'll take on the Nature's Prophet. 2 kills there, both for Erica. He's been getting pressured a lot over top, but he's still got more net worth than the TB. Or, well, now TB gets one more last hit and he jumps on top of Erica, of course.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
I mean, when you think about it, yeah, Storm Spirit, he can jump out of Mars Arena, they can snowball, but these are like type of scenarios that are perfect. That Storm doesn't have unlimited mana 9 minutes in, and like, yeah, there's also cooldowns on the snowball, especially if he uses it aggressively. So, like, Mars should have a decent time in this game. I Fuel Scepter, I really love that idea on Mars.
UIW again. He's just getting got on here by Axe, looking for the Earthshaker fissure. Totem just keeping him in place, trying to get away. Not a lot of mana here for the Storm, but just enough damage to finish off this PYW Earthshaker.
Yeah, I was just talking about how he is having a good time. Like, considering it's a position 4 Earthshaker, and like, I think it's the similar comparison to Tiny position 4, why he's not really popular anymore, because he consumes so much mana. You need to have constant clarities running. If you find a good tier 1 neutral items like Arcane Ring, Keen Optic, something that he can hold to have that extra mana region, then it's fine. And they might need to give him like a lane for himself for 2-3 minutes just to farm up that Blink Dagger, then he's good to go.
He's not too far off of it. We were looking at Nature's Prophet for a split second. I really like this ward that's looking over on the Radiant end. It spots Irving just continuing to farm these Ancients. You think they'll make a move before this ward is out, or is this now still time for Vici to just look and maybe extend their lead a little bit, get towards their next couple items?
I mean, they can make a move, but that Prophet is scary. Haste Rune, Exorcism is ready. Kind of hard to invade a triangle, especially when you're playing into Mars and Earthshaker. Like, these two heroes are very easy to defend the triangle with. There's the zip.
Immediately going for the Death Prophet, ball lightning all the way in with the Electric Vortex. They've got the damage, they'll get the kill onto the Death Prophet very quickly. 4 heroes mid for LBZS.
Pretty even game in terms of like net worth. A lot of rotations from both of these teams. 15 kills, 12 minutes in. Pretty, you know, pretty hype stuff, I would say. Let's check some of the items. Terrorblade, I saw Manta Style being queued up. Kind of decides to switch things up. Is going for SNY, the status resistance build.
Old 11.
Oh, Arcane.
Vortex. Fortunes and Tombstone down with the arena around. PYW doesn't have a Blink Dagger, but he does have the Echo Slam ready to throw. And trying to get on top of the Drow. Silence hits the Undying. Meanwhile, on the other end of the fight, they've got Old 11 dropping to MS. Sprout around PYW, actually Snowball coming through on a DY. There's the Echo and the control onto the Storm. They just blew him up.
Now, he didn't have too much mana to work with. even though there was Arcane Rune on him, he just went in. Earthshaker was ready with the combo.
And they're still moving forward. Walrus Punch, Sunder.
Sunder.
Uh-oh, Ori in trouble. Snowball, but not enough to save Zhao Fu. Cat Yu does die, and eventually so will Ori. Who does that end up being better for overall? Honestly, pretty close.
I mean, it's 3-for-1 trade, so like LBZS losing so much. I think they need to try to split the map, find some pickoffs with the Storm and the Nature's Prophet. Now, Nature's Prophet has that Orchid, so they can easily get a pickoff on pretty much anyone at the moment. Yeah, so this is something that I talked about, like the itemization between the Storm Spirit and the Nature's Prophet. He bought 2 Sage's Mask, wanted to get that Orchid, then sees like, yeah, I can't really go for that item. We already have a Silence, so I might just tank up, get some more mana. I will go for the Bloodstone.
Okay. So, do you think he's got the Sage's Masks, like...
He wanted to go for it, then
yeah.
He saw Nature's Prophet, maybe they were out of sync, and, you know, maybe he missed his timings a bit, where he died twice, especially in the previous fight, which could have gone much better for him, considering that he had an Arcane Rune. So, like, you do not want to get a BKB straight away, that's for sure. So, like, either go for a Bloodstone, maybe a Yule Scepter to have a defensive tool. But if he can get away with the Bloodstone, like, if he doesn't die for the next, like, 3 to 5 minutes and they get some good pickoffs, it's gonna pay off.
And PYW does have this Blink Dagger. He's got queued up the Aghanim Shard. Is he the only one we're going to see pick up a shard in this game? Are there others in this game that potentially, if they get the gold, because it definitely seems like a luxury item at times for heroes, but are we going to see anybody else other than PYW on this Earthshaker grab the Axe Shard?
He has insanely good timing on a Blink Dagger. Like, it's a 14-minute Blink Dagger shard. One of my favorite ones on the Earthshaker, where you just stun people who are inside the fissure and you can walk on it. He's waiting, like they need to bring one extra hero. There is that Prophet lurking around.
He's got the Echo Slam up in 3, but a little too wise to what Vici were planning there, and they back off. Game sense right there. Probably feel PYW. They actually smoke themselves. Zhao Fu, MS, and Cat Yu, they'll smoke up. See where they go with this.
Wish fulfilled.
Marking out towards the dire jungle, but at least for right now, Vici, we've got a cluster of heroes over towards mid. DY, Erica, and Old 11 all ready to go. Potentially with a smoke of their own, being helped by DY. Things pretty quiet for the moment, but looking like they might be about to pop off. Good ward placed by Zhao Fu, but immediately dewarded as it was, you know, it got them the information
Oh, look
immediately
at the
on
Nature's
Vici.
Prophet. He's sitting on a ward, the Tinker ward, revealing quite a lot. PYW, Fisher. Oh,
Close.
he had him. Like, if he used it straight away, he would have stunned him for sure, but there's no follow-up. Even if that Fisher connects, it's still not enough.
And there's the smoke. So yeah, that ward got them a little bit of vision from the Radiant side. It did spot Vici coming over. Now, however, with it being dewarded, Vici have an opportunity to use this smoke. They're going to head over towards top. Some vision placed down in the dire jungle by the Radiant. You've got Cat Yu farming the jungle. Nearby is X on the Storm. He could be in trouble if he doesn't catch this move. Leaning into the trees, TP out, and they elude Vici's movements, at least for now.
In the end, he actually decides to go for Orchid, the second one. There is already 2 Yule Scepters, and there's still Oracle Purge, so I don't think that's the best choice right now. Undying, getting caught, pretty easy. I think they're just gonna run into Roche Pit, possibly. Exorcism level 2 ready. That's a huge buff, you know. Spirits go from 8 to 16, and there they are.
Do you think having the second Orchid is the right way to go for LBZS?
I think he could have gone for a different item.
Evacuating the pit. PYW blinks away. He still has Echo Slam ready. Blink on cooldown for another 9 seconds. They're trying to use this Exorcism to grab onto this Aegis. MS nearby. Zhao Fu, he'll place down the Tombstone. They've got the Snowball coming through as well as the Arena down, but they already killed off DY, so they're not going to have the False Promise. They get the kill on X. They'll take out the Storm Spirit immediately. Zhao Fu, he's trying to help out as best he can, but they lose Cat Yu. PYW ends up dying and buying back immediately. They go after Erica, and the damage from Zhao Fu to take out the Drow. They lose ult 11 LBZS.
Oh, is this a BM pause? Like, we just, you know, killed 3 of your heroes, actually 4, because Earthshaker bought back. Even though with, like, all these zoning tools from the Earthshaker, from the Mars, they still can't get a good fight. That Prophet ulti was expiring, and it kind of, you know, is their team fight damage right now.
Yeah, the zip in and the kill immediately on a DY was massive too. They have no save for Erica. He ends up dying to a huge soul rip, I believe, from Zhao Fu. Echo Slam on a 3! Roche goes down to the Dire, but it's snatched by MS. They'll kill off PYW. He bought back, so he's dead for a while.
You know, it's one of those things where it looks like, wow, man, 3-man Echo, and it does nothing. He got the last hit on the Roche. That's something. I think he had enough time with 4 points in Aftershock to pick up that Aegis, but he didn't. If he did, it would be pretty massive. But right now, that's a dieback on your Earthshaker, so he's probably sitting at no gold at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Just has 400 gold right now.
That's not a lot to work with, especially the timings we were just talking about. Ball lightning bottom. Orchid's finished here for the Storm. They're going to go into the Death Prophet. Irving's also got an Orchid. Heals used, trying to run. There's the second Orchid. False Promise comes in from DY. Looking to maybe turn this, but Cat U goes in, misses the shards.
He did not want to commit. He had the Snowball and the Walrus Sponge, but did not underestimate the power of heal when she has a Spirit Siphon off. Running, and with the Oracle, TB's getting massive. TB's 10,000, almost 11 at the moment, going for a BKB, and I see a Blink Dagger. I like that, you know, just go in, create a lot of confusion with those reflection illusions. And, you know, there's going to be Treants, Storm Spirit zipping in, Undying Tombstone. So, like, if they are the ones who are starting the team fight, I'm kind of favoring LBZS lineup right now. Because, you know, they have a good pick-off with the Nature's Prophet and the Storm Spirit. They have good defensive tools now with the Snowball, possibly a Sunder, because TB's holding onto the Aegis, Undying Soul Rip is maxed out. So I feel like right now they can take the team fights, and the TB Illusions are gonna, you know, soak up some damage coming up from the Death Prophet ulti, so that's a nice thing.
So we talked, or you just mentioned the fact that Terrorblade's looking to go in for that Blink Dagger. And I know Mofar hates when I ask this question. Is Terrorblade thinking Ags at all? Blink in, get the Terror Wave?
Like, this is something that got buffed. I think this was also the item that's really underused on the TB. I've seen, like, Charlie from the old NIP squad winning a couple of games with it, and it looked pretty impressive, I would say.
Some attention over onto PYW, the ball lightning all the way through. Look at the zip. They've got the silence. They don't have the kill just yet. They're focusing DY. They've silenced him up, so no save to be thrown. It was still on cooldown for a couple more seconds. They'll find themselves ult 11. 3 heroes dead on the side of Vici, and a tier 1 tower soon to fall as well.
So, I mean, Ags is okay. This Blink Dagger is also fine if he wants to go like the safe route. I think Scotty is the way to go, where you're just lowering the heal coming up from Oracle, from the Death Prophet, like the slow cripples, all these heroes. It just feels, and it makes you tankier, makes your illusions tankier, which is always a nice thing to have. So TB is getting out of control. Considering that they like tri-laned for a bit at the start, TB 0 deaths, pretty impressive, I would say.
And he's had a couple of close calls, especially early on in that bottom lane. Like, he got away with like 100, 200 health a few times where that could be the difference maker. You slowed him down a little bit, and Vici could have gone out and ahead, but MS ends up surviving. He's now 5-0-4. He's sitting 2K ahead of this Death Prophet. He's sitting about the same over Erica, who's Yasha Dragonlance, trying to get that Manta and Hurricane Pike online.
They already have 2 BKBs, one on Nature's Prophet, one on TB. Storm Spirit is building the third one because they don't have the answers for it. Like, they have no abilities that go through magic immunity. Yeah, Death Prophet ulti, but you can just, you know, run away. Drow Ranger is heavy physical damage. Who are they gonna find with this smoke? That's not the target that they want to find.
I
I was
take it
talking
though.
about TB. Yeah, so they're just gonna get the Storm Spirit instead. They saw a glimpse of TB, like we do not want to heavily invest. Not sure if we can bring him from 100 to 0 quickly enough. There's a Sunder, there's a BKB counterplay, there's also an outpost to TB2.
Yeah, not the worst get. Obviously, you know, Terrorblade, like you said, he's the target that they really want. They need to slow him down because MS, he's getting out of control. He's going for that Scotty, so he doesn't buy the blink. He takes that off his Q. Go Scotty.
This is why I mentioned, like, the Scotty just makes much more sense, where you become, like, pretty much unkillable, and the slow effect. Maybe they're, you know, listening to our stream. You know, we've seen this guy, Lacoste, he's pretty smart, you know. So we better listen.
Yeah, that's not the adjectives I'd use for my analysis of anything. Smart, wise. This guy said Ags TV. What am I listening to? Ooh, PYW has the blink. Cat U still looking to chase. He's got a blink dagger of his own. So Irving looking for the vision, and there it is. Got the snowball walrus punch and the damage coming through. PYW off to a hot start and then just stymied since.
Yeah, this is why I love Chinese Dota, because when I signed up for this, I knew that there's gonna be something different. EU CIS, this is not the item that we see. I don't think I've ever seen in the last, like, year and a half, 2 years that Nature's Prophet bought a blink dagger. But, you know, he can't afford to jump in because he has the defensive tool. BKB finds the right target and doesn't have to care too much about it. AC queued up next to tank up against the Dead Prophet. The ulti and, of course, the extra armor works really well because of the max marksmanship removes only the base armor. And one important thing, they're keeping towers alive. Only lost 2 towers on LBZS.
Yeah, it was those early exorcisms, and since then, nothing. They lost that mid at 6 minutes and like 25 seconds. It really, like, that's a sign of the game not really going right when you're losing your mid that early. But LBZS, from that point, I think have done a phenomenal job. Obviously, they're up 6K. They're doing great. They have a lead over Vici. They should feel pretty good right now.
Now, VG Gaming, they are the ones who need to make a move. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Dead Prophet plus Drow Ranger are scary late game, but if you look at what LBZS has, like, they have 3 heroes that scale so well into the late game, and Tusk, like, talking about BKBs, he's gonna be the guy that's gonna buy a 4th BKB on their team.
Wow. That is... He's playing so aggressive. And that's how you got to play Tusk, right? Just in your face, making those moves, trying to... He's playing it like a playmaker at the moment. And I know I was talking to you about this before we started, but it was like back in the times when he was playing for Newbie, playing that Night Stalker, was always in the face of his opponents. Aggressive to the point where he would die maybe more than he'd like, but he's always in your face.
With
He's
the
trying
Blink
to make a
Dagger,
play.
you have this ability to either go for a defensive or aggressive plays. I think his job is to play a bit more defensively here. Just wait for the snowball. If they get a good jump with, let's say, Arena or a big Echo Slam, he needs to be the one just saving that guy who's caught.
So that Scotty finished on TB. Now he's going for the Axe.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah. You know,
He
it's
is
a
listening
really
to this
good
stream.
item.
It's like, I feel bad for this guy. He tries to analyze our games. He's not doing a good job. B-Cop, I'm going to help you out. I'll buy Axe. I'm happy with that.
You
Mofar and
take
Shambles.
back everything you said about you know, the bad stuff.
If he finishes it.
Yeah, fear duration got reduced from 375 to 2.5 seconds. And it gives you, like, meta for 10 seconds. If meta is already active, it extends it by 10 seconds. So that's also a big upgrade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like LBZS, they were playing across the river. Seems like they are chomping at the bit, looking ready to fight. Echo Slam comes in, they'll go for the kill onto Irving. They'll take on the Nature's Prophet. Cat, you're coming over. The Arena's here blocking him out. Tombstone committed. PYW over to the side. It's got Fisher and 4. They need to be a little bit careful.
Buyback
They'll go
is
after
available.
this Oracle.
There it goes.
Yeah, there's the buyback. Irving's going to try and come back into this fight as quickly as he can. BKB's been popped by the Storm Spirit. They've got the silence onto the Death Prophet, trying to survive with the Spirit Siphon. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. The Vortex pulls him in. They lose this Death Prophet. They bought back on the Oracle, but now they found themselves hold 11 as well. So another one down on Vici. It did cost the buyback from the Nature's Prophet, but well worth it in the end.
Yeah, this is why Nature's Prophet as a core is such a scary hero. Like, you invest so much to try to kill him, and Tusk was very close to getting the snowball off and save him the play that I talked about. Roche will respawn in 5 seconds. Also, in the previous fight, Oracle bought back, and yeah, he did not get too much out of that.
There it is. They've got
There's
vision
the
of
Roche,
it.
the big man.
Ready to go. Cooldown reduction for the Nature's Prophet. This is going to be potentially the second Aegis in the hands of LBZS. Technically didn't kill the first one, but they got the benefits of the Aegis.
Yeah, we don't
from
care
it.
who killed the first Roche. We care about who is holding that Aegis.
It's TV.
It doesn't matter if you played well at TI. All that matters is who's going to lift up that Aegis at the end.
If you say you played well, but you didn't win, you know, it's all about the guys who won, right?
Yep. PYW setting up some deep vision near tier 3 tower at the bottom. Cut down the tree, and he has that Aghanim shard, so he can stun people, walk over the Fissure, and it lowers the cooldown on the Fissure as well.
This is something that DY needs. He's going for that Blink Dagger. He has been struggling to find good positioning, but obviously he's the focus. They want to make sure that there's no false promise, there's no save. He's got a Blink Dagger queued. I don't know if he's going to get to it, though. They have to really survive the onslaught from LBZS, and with meta up in 30, it's
I
tough.
think they might knock on tier 3 towers, possibly. There's double damage bottle for TB. And they have heroes to deal with the split push. Like, yeah, you want to try to get something out of the map. We have Nature's Prophet, we have Storm Spirit with the jump.
Radiant's courier has been slain in cold.
Cat-U losing that courier.
For enemies.
He's trying to upgrade from the Broom handle to the Orb of Destruction. Irving doing some searching. As the scan did ping. BKB almost finished for Ori. How much is this going to help them with the fact that they're down 9k? Like, is BKB that much of a
I
shift?
don't feel BKB here is like a game-winning item. He definitely needs it to have a second way of dispelling things, but against Stevie, heavy right-click damage. Also, Nature's Prophet deals a ton of damage. Tusk, like, his ability goes through magic immunity. Like, it's gonna be tough because Oracle does not have a defensive item, and every time he shows, he's just straight up dead. Like, you know there's gonna be a jump on him. And he already bought back in the previous fight, so that's gonna be pretty big.
PYW getting spotted. Irving's immediately over to help out the Storm.
Like, Oracle just needs the TP out straight away.
That was unfortunate. Cutting down some trees and spots the Storm and blink back from the Earthshaker. Storm's like, no. Not getting away.
There's that double damage that I mentioned.
And he's got the Axe. So he's finished it, and Terror Wave ready to go.
Oh, how Dota has changed. Like, some heroes have 6 abilities right now. Some have 5, but yeah, Dota evolved. I like where Dota is right now. Still very fun to play.
Ball Lightning,
There's the
BKB
jump.
immediately popped.
Oh man, 3 big items. They have Aghanim Scepter on TB. Nature's Prophet finished full AC. Like, he's gonna have that Deso in like 2 minutes if he just keeps farming.
He is quite up there in terms of farm. He's ahead of Erica. Storm's also going Axe.
Yeah,
a fun one to see.
it's a sick Ags. like just to keep them in place for TB to deal the damage. If you get the good jump, and they have a good like vision heroes. TB with the reflection, the tombstone provides a lot of vision. Storm Spirit if he gets the jump. Right now, Vici Gaming in a tough spot. If they keep playing like this, they lose. Like their late game is much inferior to LBZS.
This is a tough spot for Vici to be in, but it's definitely a winnable game. Every game's winnable until the Ancient falls, right? But
it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Where, like we call this not playing to win. They're just, you know, look where they're farming right now. They can maybe leave the base, get some camps, but most of the time they're just farming underneath the tier 3 towers.
TB going back for the Blink Dagger. They spot hold 11. The Terror Wave comes in. They'll get the kill on the Mars in just a second. Had to wait for the Eul's.
Mars has no buyback. He invested all of his gold trying to get a BKB. They should respect the damage coming out from the Drow Ranger when they're defending the high ground. This is the Aegis. Gone. There's still Cheese on the Storm Spirit, and he will have that Aghanim Scepter in just 400 gold. Like we mentioned, the Deso build on Nature's Prophet that he has queued up, so that's almost done.
Is this a game that LBZS is safe to just kind of long play it, where they don't have to force the issue? They're farming the entire map. They're going to be ahead. Like there's no item at the moment. It feels like that's going to help Vici get out of this position.
It's their game to lose. If they can get a good pick-off once again, they might try to turn it into something. But yeah, they can also, you know, wait for the next Roche. Could respawn in 2 minutes. There's no need to rush things. Oh, Arcane. No, TB actually has
Swift Blink.
Swift Blink. I think Arcane Blink is the most OP right now between these three. Like just lowering the cooldown on some like even agi heroes feels really, really good.
You think they're just waiting? He's like, I want Swift Blink. We can wait. We're up a lot. Let me finish this item that barely gets seen. Finished.
I think they're just, you know, trying to get a pick off, possibly see how that's gonna develop. If Vici fully invests, they might be able to finish the game. But you know, right now they're just controlling the map, farming everything. Net worth difference increasing by minute, so we're already at 18k.
Well, that's what it felt like with the Mars, right? Like what you said. They were trying to see how much Vici were going to commit, if anything, to help the Mars, and they didn't really commit anything to help him out.
Yeah, they were afraid, you know, that they fully commit. Mars possibly could have had buyback there. They did not have, you know, it's hard to have a good read whether he has buyback or not, how much farm he was getting. Like, you would expect him to have a buyback there. Undying with the roar says, get the hell out of the, like, this is my jungle to farm.
Guys can continue to farm at the stairs.
Oh, there's the fear.
Fear again, PYW. And PYW is not going to have buyback, but it doesn't matter. He TP's out.
Horn of the Realm.
Nature's Prophet saw that. He's like, yeah, I'm getting a nullifier. And there it is. So he will be able to get rid of that. Dispelling things is going to be nice.
Stupendous.
Make sure he doesn't allow anybody to TP out again. BKB finished for Erica. PYW throws a ward down, gets some vision of this Undying. Now the Electric Vortex, Ghost Scepter used. Snowball comes out towards the back lines. They're looking for the Oracle. They get the gun to DY. He's going to buy back immediately with the arena down around Cat Yu as well as Zhao Fu. They get the kill onto the Tusk. They'll take on the Undying. The ball ending going over for Ori. MS uses that Sunder over on old 11. He's down with the Nullifier hitting him while he's in the Yules. They're trying to chase and get the kill onto the Mars. Just surviving. The False Promise saves Ori. Decent hold so far for Vici, but it did cost them Exorcism, Arena, False Promise just to hold, and they got the two supports of LBZS and a gem.
Yep, I think the gem is a pretty big deal. Oracle once again had to buy back. They did not fully invest to go on Oracle. Once again, they jumped to Earthshaker a bit out of sync, where Nature's Prophet uses Nullifier onto Dead Prophet instead of the Earthshaker to blow him up instantly. And there was no follow-up. Like, Tusk had a good jump on Oracle, saw him, but no follow-up. Everyone else was busy trying to kill the Earthshaker. Roche is up. Let's see what he's holding. That's Aghanim Scepter plus Cheese plus Aegis.
Who's your Ags pickup for both teams? Like, if Radiant kills it, who's taking the Ags? And if Dire take it, who do you think wants the Ags?
I mean, Storm Spirit and TB already have an Aghanim Scepter. I'm not sure if you like want to give it to Undying. Tusk is a meme. Sometimes it's really good just to kick out people, and you can also make a like similar play to Tiny Toss back with it. But they might just go with the Nature's Prophet. His Ags got changed, like lowers the cooldown by 25 seconds, and it also entangles the enemies. Spell Prism, that's really nice. That's one of my favorite tier 4 items for sure. Even though it got nerfed a bit in the previous patch, still one hell of a tier 4 item.
So, Roche is up. I'm not too sure if Vici... I mean, they gotta assume that it's up, right? Are they gonna make a play?
Speak up, my friend. I assume they know, but, you know, it's tough for them to make a play considering how fast Roshan dies. Let's see who picked up that Aghanim Scepter.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't see it. Like, what am I missing? What am I actually missing? I don't see Tusk with the Ags. Undying, also nothing's shining. Maybe they messed up. Maybe someone picked it up who already has Ags.
Well, it would show, wouldn't it?
I mean, it shows on the
Oh,
right
lightning.
side. Oh,
Ooh, doesn't hit. And the blink forward from Cat U. Walrus Punch comes in. They've got the fissure, and they stun up MS for a moment. The BKB's going to be popped here by the Death Prophet coming in, looking to get this kill onto the DP as quickly as he can, but a great arena around for these heroes. But with the BKBs, they're able to just walk around it, or walk through it, basically. Zhao Fu in some trouble. Force them trying to get away with Tombstone, keeping them slowed on Vici, but when they get the kill, they'll take the Tombstone, and the rest of LBZS back away.
man, TB, he got so much damage from the Drow Ranger. He was isolated, then Drow Ranger was just right-clicking him, almost actually killed him. He was at 300 HP in the fight.
And he blinked in and then got hit by that fissure.
I'm still wondering what happened to that Ags.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but you take a look at this fight. Look at where the arena is, and False Promise keeping alive Ori. With the BKBs going down on LBZS, that's when they backed out. And Zhao Fu, he's the only one who ends up dying on the side of LBZS.
They need the Shiva's Guard to be able to find Oracle, just provide vision, see where he's standing and take him out, because he's causing a lot of issues. Then they can focus the Death Prophet. BYW, is just gonna TP out, juked.
Irving now down to 7 seconds on that BKB. So 21k lead, but LBZS have still not gone up the stairs.
Stupendous.
It's tough. They're respecting the Drow Ranger, and
Yeah.
like if they overextend, there's Mars Arena, there's Fisher to block them off, so they need to be careful about it.
Old 11 BKB TP. That was his 8-second charge, but worth his life to just be able to get out of there. Bloodthorn finished for the Nature's Prophet. He's got Bloodthorn and Nullifier. He's sitting at 26,000 net worth.
Yeah, he is, what, 3k gold up the enemy carry hero, which is pretty impressive. But if he's getting all that farm, that means someone else from the team is not getting the farm.
It looks like the Storm's pretty far behind, but Is that the worst thing in the world to have your Storm with, you know, a little bit less farm than maybe he'd like, but at the same time, Nature's Prophet really excelling?
I'd still prefer if like Storm would have another item. I saw him having Shiva's Guard queued up, which I really liked. I talked about why. Oh, there's the jump.
Now looking over bottom, trying to get PYW, Nullifier, and the damage. This time at least, he does have buyback.
So yeah, I mean, Storm Spirit going for Bloodstone, 42 minutes in. Doesn't seem too good of an item. Like, I would just prefer Shiva's to be able to provide vision for the team to find Oracle and just completely delete him before he can cast any spells.
So,
or at least, you know, you zip in with the Shiva's Guard to provide vision, zip back, try to force Oracle to possibly use False Promise on himself.
He's going for the Bloodstone. He also picked up the Shard, so he's got the Electric Rave.
Oh, Electric Rave. That one's pretty cool. Like, I believe most of the people have seen, who was it, Paparazzi? Yeah, that clip a few days ago that was on Reddit. If you didn't see it, check it out. It's pretty impressive. Like, they just team wiped them. It was Storm, yeah, level 25. And I think with the Shard, you go for the other talent. Like, both of his 25 talents right now are pretty insane.
So, just cleaning up some creeps. I think one of the best parts of that clip, too, is just how much he was giggling. Yeah, like, I don't know if he expected how much it was, you know, able to accomplish, how quickly he was going to wipe the other side.
We did talk about Drow Ranger, like, she's been farming whatever comes to tier 3 tower, she's just sitting there. So, Pike, full butterfly, and she hit level 25, so CDR on top of Shadowblade just to be able to, you know, like, having Invis at this stage of the game could be potentially a problem because people are running out of slots.
Where's the party?
Ooh. BKB. Getting used. These BKB times are starting to fall pretty low for LBZS.
Zip!
Down to like 6, 7, 5 seconds.
Yeah, you want to use all the charges straight away, so you know you don't care too much about using the BKB after. You know, you don't feel bad when you click a BKB. Just kidding, you know, don't do that.
Irving.
So we're gonna see
Go for
another
that
Swift Blink. Yeah. Nature's Prophet about to finish his.
Haste!
Looks like, are they signed up to smoke again?
Double damage!
Doesn't look like it. I thought Vici were going to be the aggressors again.
You can't really feel that the net worth leads for LBZS is 25k. Like, considering how afraid they are.
Just missing Cat U. Decent shards.
It's hard for Vici Gaming, you know, to show up on the lanes. You can't just be split pushing against Nature's Prophet and Storm Spirit.
Smoked
Oh,
up,
there's the
blink
jump.
forward. They're looking for PYW. Doesn't get anything off. He pops the BKB, looks for the Walrus Punch. That's going to hit on the old 11. Metamorphosis pop by MS. They've got the arena down. Exorcism coming through from Ori, trying to do as much damage as he can. Doesn't feel like MS is doing as much as maybe he would like, as now he finally pops that meta. It was the Terror Wave that gave him the original duration of the Metamorphosis, and now he's got the Metamorphosis. They've got the damage. They get the kill on Ori. They'll take out old 11. The Ball Lightning looking for a DY, and Snowball following it up, and they'll get the kill onto 3. No buyback for the Oracle.
Drow Ranger was on the hill, having a really good positioning, dishing out some serious amount of damage, but, you know, once you take out that Prophet, Exorcism didn't run for a very long time, and there's the buyback.
Yeah, DY just getting the gold for his buyback, only costing him about 580 gold at this
The
point.
seeds of force.
There's a gem on the ground, no one's picking that up. Undying just bought a gem. Like, there, dude, there's a free gem on the ground. You bought it before. I believe that's his gem.
So, Missing out on that gem. We take a look at this replay again, and yeah, it was the Terror Wave that ran out for a second, then uses the Metamorphosis. Now the damage coming through. Finally, Storm joins the fight. They take out Zhao Fu, but in return, they've got Ori, Old 11, and DY falling. And eventually, Ori buying back. So he's the only one of the three that ended up buying back that died in that fight. 32,000 net worth lead by LBZS. Again, though, still respecting, I would say, what, the high ground defense of Vici. They haven't stepped up the stairs.
Yeah, they're waiting for next Roche, and Roche just respawned, so 4 free items. Feel free to take it. Refresher, really, really good on the TB, having 2 metas, 2 terror waves, just refresh your abilities, BKB and the Swift Blink.
Looking for it, Terror Wave, PYW. Getting blown up. That little bit of Metamorphosis for 10 seconds from Terror Wave is so good.
Yeah, you don't know, like, I mean, you should know that he didn't commit, but...
Arena down, Zhao Fu gets hit by the spear. They get the kill on the Undying. He doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 75 seconds. This is a short-term BKB here for the Storm, but they've got the Warriors Punch on it. We're going to look over at Old 11. Death Prophet in a lot of trouble. They've got the shards around. There's a false promise. DY gets the save. He's going to lose his life for this, but is it going to be worth anything? He's sprouted up, stuck in place, and not going anywhere. However, the fissure hits a lot of these heroes, and with that shard, it seems like they did a lot of damage. Echo comes in. Irving, Cat-U, both going down. They've lost the Storm. 4 heroes got on the side of LBZS. The only one to get away so far is MS. But this is when Roche is available. You said those 4 free items are up and about, and now it might be an opportunity for Vici to get their hands on a Roche.
Dude, I want to see damage done by Drow Ranger in that team fight, because she was just sitting on a high ground with that extra attack range and not untouched. Also, a sick false promise on that Prophet, like last second. So I think they should give Aegis the Death Prophet. PYW, what?
Yeah, here's the replay. It starts with them finding Zhao Fu, Old 11. He's got the spear balling in. But again, this is a short duration BKB from Storm. He comes through, Irving's right there by him, and then on the other side of the fight, you've got Cat-U going in with the Walrus Punch as well as the shards, blocking in this Death Prophet. DY
like,
commits
she
his
goes
life.
back into the base, and they have no vision of her. So she just, like, look at the TB. He melts, and then the big Echo Slam.
Right there on it. Wow.
Not sure why they decided to give Aegis to Earthshaker. Yeah, you bought back, but that Prophet also bought back. Like, what's the cooldown? 4.5 minutes. I mean, she's holding on to Refresher Shard, so DY on Oracle has one job. Like, he needs to save that Prophet.
And they've got buybacks available. They're going to go for the spear. They'll look over at Cat-U. Now MS coming from the side. Look at this Terror Wave pushing back Poyoyo, a.k.a. Erica. Nullifier hits on Old 11. They've got the Walrus Punch. They have the control to kill off this Mars. He's in past the racks. Ball Lightning all the way through. Looking to get a kill onto somebody. Silence not going to land. BKB was popped by this Storm, but he refreshes. He's got the Exorcism. They find themselves Erica for a split second. Spirit Siphons isn't going to be enough. He's got the use the Echo Slam from PYW. Comes in again. They get the kill to the Storm Spear. They look over at everything. They take out the Nation's Prophet. They'll go after Zhao Fu. Warriors Punch onto the Death Prophet. They've got the False Promise again from DY. So the save is there onto the Death Prophet. They find themselves the kill on MS. He's got buyback. So does Cat-U, but 4 years dead on the side of LBZS. And looking like this game has fallen out of the hands of this Radiant side.
What this might be the game, actually. They might be able to finish out this game. Like, how are we buyback-wise? TB has one, needs to use it. Like, they need to go all in right now.
Yeah, they're going to try and defend as best they can, but TB, he's not working with the 10-second Metamorphosis coming in from Terror Wave. He doesn't have meta in general. You've got 3 heroes going up against 5. Vici still looking to finish this one off. They've got the sides on a Cat-U.
Oh, he's
Look
dead.
at that, just taking out the Tusk. They go after MS, they'll take out the TB. Everything was there for LBZS, but they've let it slip out of their hands. Vici are going to go on to win this game. The only one here to defend is Zhao Fu. There's the GG call. Vici take game 1. They came back from about 40,000 down.
Yeah, that one's pretty impressive, you know. Wow. The positioning from Drow Rangers, standing on that high ground, having Shard with Hypothermia. Man, some of these new abilities are, you know, pretty insane the way like frost arrows work. Can't believe they actually managed to make a comeback.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
a crazy comeback, up about 40,000 for LBZS. Everybody was like, oh, LBZS, new Tier 1 team. They're coming through. They're beating Vici. All Swips away, PYW, Drow, everybody on Vici coming together to take that first victory. We're going to throw it over to the panel and get their thoughts. Nomad, back over to you.
Thank you very much, gents. Yep, you know, exactly as predicted here on the panel. We knew LBZS would look good at the start, but, you know, we predicted they were going to be looking ahead, but never in doubt, were we, guys?
All right. Sure, whatever. I was maybe doubting a little bit because LBZS, they had a fantastic start. And by the way, these two teams matched up a couple of months back. Vici Gaming, in the first game, they were leading, so the minute mark was their gold lead mark as well. 20 minutes, 20K, 30 minutes, 30K, and they took it very easily. They won 2-0 that series. The second game as well went fairly easy for them. This is the first time that I see LBZS actually doing well in the early game, in the mid game against Vici Gaming. But the problem that they had is just closing up the game. That's the issue. I think their playstyle was right, but closing up the game versus such an experienced team with such an experienced team fight makers, right? Like your Earthshaker, your Mars, was very difficult for them.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about what ultimately became like the downfall, which is the lack of team fight. If you want to go high ground, eventually, you know, you have to team fight. They were almost 30k gold ahead, but they still couldn't like team fight properly. So it's just a very, very difficult spot they put themselves into from the draft, I think. But yeah, like as you said, the early mid game, they snowballed really hard. They made very good usage of all the heroes. They all bought blinks just to jump on the Oracle. They had like 3-4 blinks.
I really think their biggest issue here is you're playing a very chaotic lineup, and you're doing it well in every aspect of the game, but not when it comes to pushing high ground. When you have a lineup such as this one, you need to take risks. You can't wait for that perfect 5-on-5 engagement under their high ground, right? Like, you're going to lose that. You need to take some risk. If you're 5 versus 3 or 4 versus 3, you maybe need to push there. Force a couple of buybacks. Try to go high ground, because you're not going to do it when they're all in their position. And I wouldn't even say that Mars was the biggest issue. This Shaker in a couple, like, he breaks them. He broke them. Yeah, like these couple of echo slams at the end were magnificent.
And like, to me, like, I would say that this wasn't really a throw, but so much as the way they were just like continuously taking the fights, and they were doing well on the side of LBZ. You know, obviously they were doing well. They had a huge net worth lead, but you know, because they never really went for the jugular, they never really tried to do any lasting damage. It just gave Vici Gaming like the free permission to go, okay, well that didn't work. What do we try next? You know, they're allowed to try every single thing in the rulebook until eventually they found this Drow shard and kind of just slapped them. And they weren't ready for that. They got figured out. And yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you give a team like Vici too many opportunities to come back into the game, which I feel like is what it came down to, really.
Yeah, just the inexperience shining through. Like, I think they can, like, let's just say, like, EG is Radiant with the same draft. First of all, I don't think they would ever have a draft like this, but if they did, you know, they would just jump into the base, have a 30k gold lead, Storm jumps into the base blindly even, just kill a hero, buy back, come back in. You need to use your 30k gold lead, you know? The longer you keep sitting on it, the stronger Dia is gonna get.
Can I take your example, but just change one letter? OG instead of
OG, yeah.
OG, they're in your base 20 minutes in with the same draft, right? Because they understand that this chaos, it needs to continue throughout the game. You can't just suddenly decide, okay, now we're gonna chill. You will lose those team fights, and that's exactly what happened to them. Sad, because they were all, what, 30k ahead at some point.
I mean, they were all in aggression lineup, but then they stopped putting on aggression.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not something you can do. You're committed, so you have to commit.
Yeah. It's hard though, right? You're in DPC, there's so much from the line, it's your first game, water in your ears, like, you know, like, it's difficult.
Water? Oh, you mean like a kind of ring-in thing where you're just like hyped?
Exactly.
I see. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty crushing as well. You know, this team's coming in, they're doing well, and even though I wouldn't say the word throw, but they probably feel like they did. They had, when you have a big gold lead, as a team, you're always going to be like, we let that one go, we had it in the bag. You know, Black, you're quite a motivational guy. I want you to put yourselves in the cloakroom of this team right now. What would you say to those boys, those young players who are hungry, they've just been slapped down in their very first game, feeling pretty bad? How do you hype them up? I
mean, honestly, it's like, I've been in a situation before, and it's very, very hard to, hype anyone up if they're in that position, simply
Okay,
because
okay.
like it's a big blow. All I
cuddle
hope
then?
for is that they don't watch that replay, because
Okay.
watching a replay like that is very demoralizing. Just like before the second game, that's like the biggest mistake my teams have done like many times. Like we lose a very devastating game, we watch the replay. Oh, you could have done this better, could have done this better.
And then it's in your head, right?
Yeah,
and you
just like
can't,
the entire team morale is down.
Yeah.
So just write it off for now. After the game, after the series, you can just look through it. We had a huge goal lead. We could have done this better. Could have done this better. But definitely right now, just focus on the second game. First game is over.
One big thing, one big plus that I have for LBZS, they played really well, even though Vici Gaming studied them extremely hard and banned out all their top carries. Like 4 bans, 4 carries. And you still did well, even with the Terrorblade that's countered by Drought, more or less.
Yeah.
We
And
saw
Mars
that
as
again.
well.
Yeah, and Mars as well.
Yeah.
So they might have been put in a corner when it comes to their draft, and maybe they need to open with one of their cores. Like that's the only way you escape the situation, right? You open up with one of your cores and you risk it that way.
Alrighty, well, that is game 1 in the bag for Vici Gaming. Can LBZS come back in game number 2, or is this going to be a quick 2-0 for the first round here of the DPC China region? We're going to throw it over to a short break, and then we'll be back for game number 2 to find out.
Hey guys, my name is Scobie today.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the DPC. We're here with the China region here from the studio in Bucharest. My name is Nomad. Joining me is Lizard and Black once again to get into the second game in this best of 3 series. LBZS, they got beaten down pretty savagely as the game turned around upon them in a violent fashion. Whiplash from that first game. Game number 2, you know, now we get to see the real mental fortitude of some of these younger Chinese teams. Can they come back with a fighting spirit is my question.
Yeah, sure. Of course they can. Like,
Really?
I don't want to hear any of this. You're feeling down, you watched replays, all this stuff. Man, of course you can come back. You just had the... There's one problem. You just had the best game you ever had versus Vici Gaming and you lost it. Okay, that can be a little bit demoralizing. But then again, you didn't play your best heroes. I want to see Medusa, I want to see Troll from them, first picked and then play around that. If they manage to pick those heroes, I'm certain they can take it.
Did you know that they've recently discovered that you can actually remove short-term memories from snails using a type of electroshock therapy? If they could apply that to those players and just make them forget the last kind of 10 minutes of that game, then they'd be feeling really good coming into that second game, right?
Well, it happened to me. It didn't work. I did shock therapy. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
My memory did not get affected, unfortunately.
What were you trying to get rid of?
I had some nerve damage, like in my leg somewhere.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay.
And then to like reactivate that nerve, you know, you get like some shocks in there. But it has nothing to do with your memory, unfortunately. I would have
think
loved
that's
to forget
different
that.
therapy completely.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
think
know
you're a
this.
snail.
I guess if you just put it on your head, it can work the same
Yeah.
way.
I mean, I don't know how you know science works. I'm a caveman kind of guy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like you might be like the laser gun kind of guy, you know. But I come at you with like a
You
spear.
come with a spear and a rock axe, right?
Yeah,
That's
no,
it.
like-
I see.
Yeah. And obviously I will still win because I'm very persuasive.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
You're a persuasive caveman.
Yes.
He would persuade me to lay down my weapons and have peace, and then he would whack me.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, I see. Definitely.
Bold tactics, bold tactics. Well, there's certainly not going to be any peace in this second game as Vici Gaming, you know, they've now found their momentum. I'm certainly scared for LBZS, but hopefully they can pull out something big. And maybe with a more stable draft, this game might be easier because, you know, we didn't like their draft very much, but they were still able
Yeah, I
to
liked
come
it.
out really strong.
You two didn't. I liked it. I'm still down for the same
And
draft.
We have VODs.
And
Man,
where did we end up, Lizard? Where did we end up?
I mean, I still like their draft. Yeah, they lost, but it was crazy strong when it comes to pickoffs. Their team fight sucked. I agree. They could not breach high ground. That's true. But with a little bit more chaos, like I'm the kind of a guy like, why go and fix your weaknesses if you could just focus on your strengths, right? Like
Nice.
just focus on what you're good at and excel at that. Don't go back and fix that team fight. Who cares? It's like play the game your own way. That's it.
Is that why you always skip leg day?
Oh, same draft.
Dude, I'm doing like that every day. You'll see. Black will tell you.
Oh god, I don't want to get into this conversation, that's for sure. Like I tell you guys, every time the cameras go off, it's just gym, you know.
Man, you see what I mean? Vici Gaming, they analyzed LBZS so well, and they stole their bread and butter. Medusa banned out, they pick up the Troll.
Yeah, what do you do without bread and water? You starve. You can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Eat or drink something else, but yeah, I mean, you know, they get the Oracle Troll Warlord combination on the side of Vici Gaming. And this is a classic one. This is from about a year ago. This was super popular. We were seeing it every game. Maybe having a bit of resurgence in this patch, perhaps. I really like the Aghanims on Troll. The ability to purge stuff is it's pretty
Fenrir?
fun.
What is that?
Is that Fenrir? Looked like him.
Almost.
Yeah.
Is
Like-
it?
like- I don't know. Is he coaching VG now? Because RTK is not coaching him anymore, I think.
Yeah, like it could be. ROTK, when did he leave? I know that he was in that
He's
very
coaching
good
Elephant,
run.
right?
Yeah. He was with them in 2019 during all their victories, right?
And the majors and
the
stuff, yeah.
majors, the minor major victory, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they go with the Night Stalker. They this was banned out against them as well last game.
Second phase, yeah.
Yeah,
So they
it-
just pick it up first phase.
Yep. Good into the Oracle.
Super good against Oracle, but lanes terribly
versus
into Troll.
Yeah, like
So maybe we'll actually see like a Midnight Stalker. We've seen that a couple of times. Elephant has even run a carry Night Stalker. Is a
it's been an SCA classic, right? If you remember, SCA fans definitely remember TNC with their safe lane Night Stalker just winning one tournament after another.
that was with the broken Aghanims though.
Yeah,
now it's a little bit more balanced.
Yeah, the
1.5
AoE
seconds AoE stun.
It was Night Stalker plus Earthshaker Morphling.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Night Stalker card will just perma-stun the entire team for like 3 seconds. Like, yep.
Look at this ban. Prevent the ultimate from making daylight because we have Night Stalker, the Phoenix ban.
Yeah, 5 head.
Galaxy Brain.
And then you ban Razor so he can't steal Troll's damage. 5 head.
The Ursa ban is a little bit peculiar though as well, right? Like
Ursa is not good against Troll.
Yeah, right. Like it's not. It's literally they're banning out the heroes that LBZS has played in the last
Yeah.
or two. And
Feels like a
that's
bit of a trap, though, kind of. You know, you waste some of your bans because,
Yeah.
you know, you just kind of get too stuck to it. Especially with, if this troll goes for the Agnibs, he can dispel the Ursa's overpower, right? So that aspect's pretty strong.
I mean, you also have Oracle who can dispel it also.
Oh, yeah,
You have
of course, of
Oracle who
course.
can Fate's Edict him. It's definitely, like, they didn't need to ban that.
Imagine
They're
if
just
you-
like kind of following a script, you know?
Yeah,
Imagine
you're
if
right.
you had
you're
an
right.
axe on LBZS. That would be. Cull those two down. You could also
That'd be really good.
Yeah,
They could still do that as well.
Yep.
You know, if they put the Night Stalker mid.
something that's not bad as well is the Ancient Apparition, perhaps for LBZS for that
Yeah.
position 5.
Always really nice to play into Oracle. Some really weird interactions between Oracle and AA as well.
It's for
which,
Troll as well, right? So you can
it's
apply
old.
that ulti on him.
Yeah. So they banned a Draw Ranger this time. Pretty good against Troll. Not terrible against Oracle, of course, but
What do you even pick against Troll right now? When the hero Zags came out, I literally thought this was the most broken hero in the meta. Like having
Draw
that
Ranger?
Axe dispel on Troll.
Oh, Troll.
Yeah, for me it's
Yeah.
just stupid strong. It's very difficult to deal with. You have two ways of dispelling yourself right now. You have the Oracle, then you have yourself as well. Plus your ulti is great always. What carry would you like to see here versus in black?
I personally still like against Troll. I like heroes that can inflict silence. So I think Ricky is pretty good. Like you
Yeah.
can shard trap him and then like smoke screen him. Just simply because most trolls, like the axe is very good. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of them get like trapped in this mentality. I got axe, I'm immune now. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wouldn't build BKB. The matter of the fact is, silence still messes you up bad time, like big time, because like you obviously can't dispel anything through silence, and you can't ult through silence.
And you're already facing one, right? You have Night Stalker,
Mm-hmm.
and then again Ricky would double down on your strengths once again.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be bad. Okay,
Winter Weather.
another one,
Well,
right?
Very
nice
good
answer.
against Troll, of course. Yeah. Can't dispel that. I mean, Winter's just a hard counter to Troll, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. You have
that's a
that
good
ulti
pick.
to use against him, on him, on his allies, whatever, doesn't matter. Also a hero that they've drafted before. I think they've had a very, very similar draft. But yeah, definitely Winter Wyvern is right down their alley.
Wind Ranger.
Ooh,
Interesting pick. I feel like Wind Ranger is not particularly strong against any of the three. Tusk is actually really good against Wind Ranger because his ult is True Strike, so you can hit through Wind Run.
Yeah,
You can almost
faster.
one-hit him with that.
And the silence is also very annoying if this Night Stalker gets blink
Yeah.
and it gets on top of you. The problem that he does have is he needs to go on Oracle, right? Like
Yeah.
if Oracle is alive, everyone else is like safe.
Dude, I swear that's Fenrir, man. I don't know. He just looks like him. Yeah, I feel like this Wind Ranger pick is... I don't know, I mean, Wind Ranger is a strong hero, of course, but... Yeah.
In this game, yeah, I can see why you're having questions.
We're
Hopefully.
not exactly sure if this is going to be a position for Wind Ranger, right? It could
That's
be-
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a shackle shot, a meteor hammer Wind Ranger.
I mean, if you're looking at Ori, he's a complete mid laner. Any given position 2 he can play, right?
Yeah.
Like from those nasty Dragon Knights and Razors, Vipers, all the way to Pucks and your classical playmakers. Like he can do whatever. So
I feel like he excels at playmaker, so like his
Yeah.
Storm, his Puck, his Kunkka, all these heroes are really, really good. Whereas his like greedy mid laners, like he played some Medusa and everything before, but it's not nearly as good as his playmakers in my opinion. Like he just always knows his limits on those heroes.
I mean, their Medusa has like 70% win rate or something, but it's because it was a Medusa meta, right? And you pick
Yeah.
Medusa mid, it's just Venge Medusa. And that's something that's played quite a lot right now in the Chinese region. Like they play a lot of these hyper carry lineup still. Like
Yeah.
Venge Duza. That's why we see Duza banned out.
I mean, it's a
in the
carry
first stage.
carry meta still.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hard carries, end of the day, will still prevail. We saw last game, Drow Ranger just pretty much it killed everybody in 3 hits. It's just how the meta is right now. Like the stronger carry late game will always prevail.
Yep.
And the other 4 heroes are literally just there to like pave the way for the carry.
So, paving the way for LBZS carry, what would you pick here? Like, I'm actually at a loss. You need something definitely decent versus Troll. With this
Still
Void
got
Spirit.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
I'm a big fan of Ricky
Yeah,
still.
sure. Why not? These 3 are extremely squishy early on, and Ricky excels at that. Like, the smoke screen is super valuable too.
Yeah.
And you're so active. Like again, they have this. I think they did improve a little bit when it comes to the team fight. You have the Winter Wyvern there right now. Like it's a plus. They didn't have that last game.
And Night Stalker as well. Like
Night
when you
Stalker
ult, you guys are just the huge vision advantage. Oracle actually can't play Dota against Night Stalker, I feel.
It's very difficult.
Until like level 18 with Ether Lens and Glimmer Cape and everything. But if you even get there as Oracle. Bad Rider. So it's probably gonna be
Probably
Bad
Bad
Rider?
right? Versus Void Spirit.
yeah.
I mean, you don't see their safe lanes, so you can't really. So what this means is position for Wind Ranger, Bat Rider that's been banned out by the way in the last game.
Yeah.
Will be mid.
And Bad is just like such a strong hero. Like mid Bad Rider, I don't know if he loses lane to anyone, to be honest. Like he will always just farm.
I mean, I've seen some jugs mid and something like that, but,
But
still
both still free farm,
yeah,
right?
You're still farming. Storm might be maybe a problem, right? Because you don't win the lane plus Storm farms. But
Or Quap maybe.
Yeah, what Quap?
Yeah,
Quap.
Quap can be
exactly.
quite hard,
But they did nerf his ancient farming, right?
It still
not-
works when you're
it
level
still
7,
works.
with level 4 Napalm, but before level 7 you can't do it anymore.
Okay.
So it's nerfed only for like earlier levels.
Yeah, you can just stack before that point anyway, though, right? Like you don't necessarily
Yeah.
need to farm ancients.
But
so I
before you
don't
could
think
just do
it's
level 3. And you're like level 7 suddenly.
Pretty cool.
Like hero level 3 just going and farming ancient stacks. Like what the hell is happening? Comes out like with travels before he has level 6. Alright, sure.
Wait, so they actually banned PL and Jug. So they still leave the option open for offlane Bad Rider.
Yeah.
But of course
actually,
they're picking
that's true.
first, so maybe they will just pick another flexible here that can go mid and
Then
offlane.
just adjust. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Winter Wyvern doesn't like to play against Bad Rider as a support.
So I haven't mentioned yet, but thoughts on the LBZS logo? It's
Yeah.
It's a sun.
it's a little smiley sun guy.
I told you guys
It's
yesterday,
adorable.
like ever since I watched Teletubbies as a kid, I can't take these things seriously anymore. The sun there is so creepy.
Yeah.
Unlike me and Lizard, who are taking the smiling sun very, very seriously.
No, it's fine for me, I guess. Reminds me of kindergarten or something like that.
That's why
Okay.
it's just you know, it's
Yeah.
just nice in amongst a sea of try-hard logos. You know, these guys are just like, hey, we're just here to have a good time. The sun is shining, and we've got smiles on our faces and blushed little cheekies. Anyway, we have a Templar Assassin picked up by Vici Gaming as their final pickup. How is this lineup looking to you guys? Formidable?
It's good. I like Slark. Are we picking Slark? Weaver.
Weaver.
Okay, that's another one versus Bat, right? Like a hero that can lane into him.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And he can also like kind of become a hard carry as well.
You can.
Yeah. Especially with the Maelstrom buff, you farm a lot faster now.
Maelstrom farming speed allows you to do that. You can itemize correctly to be a true position 1 here.
It's hard though. Like I'm a bit afraid for their lanes. Like Void Spirit gets crushed by TA, and Troll crushes Night Stalker as well.
That's 2 out of 3 lanes, and Weaver Winter Wyvern versus Bat. I mean, Weaver should do well on paper, but it's not necessarily a wash for him, right? Like you should farm well, but it doesn't mean that you're going to dominate that lane like it means for Troll. I don't see what happens on that lane for Troll to lose. Like Troll versus Tusk Knight Stalker.
Maybe like tower dive and then like one guy TP's in or something. Yeah.
That said, last game with the TV and the Undying, we weren't really expecting that to go the way it did either. So you know, upsets do happen, guys. I'm going to ask quickly for your predictions for this second game, as we're all 1 out of 1 so far.
You want to go first?
I can't go first. I'm gonna go with VG simply because. Like both of their winning conditions are just going to snowball too hard, in my opinion, and it's going to be hard to stop. They're going to get a free Roche. I don't think they can really stop that, and then it's going to go ahead on with that.
I was a believer in first game. I really was. It didn't work out for LBZS. This second game, I favor Vici Gaming heavily.
I'm going to break the mold. I like these. I like the Night Stalker pick. I think LBZS have some good things going for them. So I'm going to put my money on LBZS. But that's what we think. That's our predictions, guys. We're going to throw it over to the casters. Enjoy game number 2 of Vici Gaming versus LBCS.
Thank you very much, Nomad Lacoste. It was the upset that almost was. 38,000 net worth lead. Can they do it again? Can they finish this time?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that's gonna affect him for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
this is also a team that doesn't, have much experience besides playing online. So it gets into their heads for sure. So this second game might be a stomp, I would say. Considering how they drafted, they have a greedy lineup. I would say I think Troll should have like a pretty easy time where he, plays into Night Stalker and the Tusk. He's also playing with the Oracle. I just don't see them, losing this lane. It starts with the nighttime. Yeah, that's fine during the before the horn, but then it's a daytime. I don't think you put any pressure. Like every single time you get close, you're just gonna get harassed. Night Stalker, don't get me wrong, he's a good hero after, so he can cut into backlines, find Oracle. That silence gonna get so much value, but I'm afraid about the laning stage for LBZS.
Do you think that their game relies heavily on that first nighttime? Like, if it doesn't go well, Vici start to get out of control? Because TA is one of those heroes. Like, you give TA a couple of, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, all of a sudden the game could be there for TA, and everything's a problem afterwards.
I wouldn't say it's about Night Stalker this game. It's more about Void Spirit making the rotations. Also, this is the lane that he should not win against the Templar Assassin. So once again, they're playing with a handicap. Bottom lane should be fine. Like Weaver, I think this hero is going to be really popular, especially in this kind of like matchups where, she... I call it she because of the like Dota 1 days, and I have this mentality. Batrider is going to drop top. Like she spawned birds to spiders, so
Now who wants
that's how it works.
So already first blood there for LBZS, a good start to kill off Old 11. But is this the wise move for Vici? They've made this swap. They've thrown Erica in the bottom lane. They've got the Batrider top. Like, even though he gives up first blood, is this the matchups you want?
I think I can get it. I can get behind it where they still are gonna win this lane with Troll against Weaver, and they just wanted to give Batrider a better lane where he, doesn't get to play Dota when he's playing into Weaver. Pretty tough matchup. You don't get the value from the hero in the laning stage.
Now Void Spirit getting low over mid. Ori looking for a shot to get the kill, but won't finish it off.
So Batrider already TP'd top after that first blood, which means that they can adjust lanes. So they're gonna have to stick with this, at least for a while.
Very interested to see how Ori does on this mid TA. Considering this is his most played professional hero, he goes out of control with this hero quite a bit.
It's a tough matchup, definitely, for Void Spirit. Already putting so much pressure on him. He doesn't have way of like removing the refraction. Yes, you have some damage reduction.
Shards again up towards top. Old 11 in trouble. Sent out the Swarm and Shikuchi. It's going to be enough. MS goes under the tower, taking a lot of damage though.
Oh, that's Sal from Tusk.
South.
Power shot, not going to cancel it.
South. Close though. Fortune's End. And Jiaofu trying to help out the Night Stalker, who comes in, but the Centaur helping out a little bit for Vici. Solo up Irving. Just don't have the damage yet. Jiaofu continuing to throw what he can to help keep this Night Stalker alive.
I like what LBZS is doing. Like they pushed Weaver to the top lane, and they paired him up with Tusk, so they have much more kill potential. 11 once again in trouble.
Power shot comes through, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough damage. Old 11 with the Firefly, burning out Cat-Yu, getting under the tower, trying to take off the Swarm, surviving with just a minuscule amount of health. Meanwhile, Cat-Yu's going to lose that Courier. Cat-Yu with 5 stacks, but not falling.
To go back to my point, like pairing up Weaver with Tusk gives them much more kill potential, and having Wyvern instead of Tusk with the Night Stalker also puts a bit of pressure on a Tusk, considering Wyvern is a range hero, and it gives Night Stalker a better time. So, I mean, once the nighttime falls,
Again.
it's-
MS! Shikuchi to right under him. They have the sentry, so
yeah,
cut the vision. But that's an aggressive play to make with that little amount of health left on you. And Irving getting chased, Erica trying to get the kill. He's voided up. He won't go under the tower, or at least he won't commit under the tower.
I think during the nighttime, Troll will need to switch the lanes. Like, he won't be able to play near the tower during the nighttime, because Night Stalker will have this long lane to work with.
Double damage bottled up for X. That holds Ori from grabbing a double damage himself. He doesn't have a bottle at the moment. Going a bottle at all, going right in the boots. So it should be what? Treads, Deso, Blink, or is he going to go Blink before Deso, you think, for TA?
Here, I think you get more value out of Deso. Like, just straight up damage. I mean, Blink is also fine. I think you need to be like a TA player to actually feel it. Aggressive move on Night Stalker bottom. Root Frost is slow. No, there's another Root.
Root, Irving, Purifying Flames comes in. DY with the very often seen Oracle lasted on a kill. Especially in the lanes. Once you get that Purifying Flames up, level 2, level 3.
Like,
Set your course.
Young 11, he has 2 deaths, maybe 3 right now, because he's dropping very low and there's no counterplay to this, but he's still sitting at 30 CS while Weaver has 13, so that's a pretty big deal. Let's check the net worth difference.
It's surprisingly close. He's
It's
only
close,
behind
yeah,
by
so
80 gold.
Batrider's not really losing out that much.
And Troll going down bottom with this double damage. They made the move.
This is exactly what I talked about. It's nighttime. Troll can't stay bottom. I think he needed to make rotations straight away, and I don't think he goes back to the bottom lane. Someone else needs to be there.
Do they make the swap though?
Because you're level 4, you don't have ulti up, and there's gonna be another move on you. So he TP's back to bottom. Let's see how that's gonna work out. Because Night Stalker is level 5, has phase boot, so ton of move speed. He just needs one extra hero with the Night Stalker to be able to kill the Troll.
Yeah. And it looks like they already want to play aggressive once again. They pick up the smoke on Tusk. We'll see where they go with that smoke. However, MS, only level 5, in some trouble, throws out the Swarm, goes into the Shikuchi, burning alive. Power shot misses. However,
He
back
goes
into
back.
the Firefly.
I mean, I don't think he would be able to get out anyway, but he goes out with a style.
Style points there. Not worth any XP or gold, but still style points.
He earned my respect, that's for sure. Going back to the fire.
So TA, Ori has queued up the Deso first. We'll see how quickly he can get into it.
You know, just straight up damage feels much better, and it also opens up an earlier Roche, which you have, especially if you bring like Troll, possibly a Batrider. So right now, DY playing defensively, staying behind the Troll.
Bringing 3 heroes top. Trying to make a move here. They've got the Void Spirit, the Weaver, as well as the Tusk. Certainly enough to jump down past the Tier 1 tower and potentially get Old 11 again. But Old 11 playing pretty conservatively under the Tier 1 tower. He's got more net worth than the Void Spirit and the Weaver, despite the fact that he's died 3 times.
Most of the people who are watching are like, yeah, Young 11, he's feeding, but it's tactical feeding. You know, he's also giving so much space to Troll to be able
Shackle
to...
and the power shot with a lasso, MS.
Did not want to risk it, you know. I'll just secure the kill with that lasso. And now they're putting the pressure on the bottom lane.
Bring over Zhao Fu. Irving comes in. Goes after Erica, but really no worse for wear. As well as the fact that Ori's kind of down here. Throws down a trap. Cat-U gets some vision. I don't think they really want to make the jump onto the TA. That could turn poor and go real sour.
So, I mean, they can get away with Troll still being on the bottom lane if they protect them. With Oracle, they set up one trap just to slow them down, and lane is back to the tower. Talking about the Aghanim Scepters, like the reworks, Troll, I believe that's one of the best ones. Like Ricky's and Troll's is pretty insane. Like Troll gets a 4-second dispel with 25 mana. You can dispel yourself with the melee ones, and you can dispel enemies with the ranged axes. So
in the jungle, PYW got the snowball, shards land. Another kill there for the Void Spirit.
Of your life led without doubt to this.
And
Usually,
this is also rotated.
I've seen like Trolls getting a farming item before getting that. So like Battle Fury into Ags is, I'm not gonna say a standard build because we didn't play too many games in this patch, but this is something that I've seen, you know, just watching the pro players play the pub games.
Does he double back for that Battle Fury? Or is he going Ags into completely something else?
I think it's just gonna be Ags here, because he doesn't necessarily need to be like the real damage dealer. I'll hold that thought, top lane.
And the Fortune Zank, good flame break. Cat-U getting bounced back. He'll end up dead. MS trying to make something happen. Old 11 does have a lasso available. You want to be a little bit careful. Weaver has died a couple times over committing.
Now, to go back to the talk about Troll's itemization, you have Templar Assassin, who's going for a Deso, so you're definitely not gonna lack damage, and it's gonna be much easier for you to be able to like dispel things. Even though there aren't too many good spells to dispel. What are you gonna dispel? Like, you can't dispel Tag Team, you can't dispel Swarm, you can't dispel Arctic Burn, you can dispel like Crippling Fear. I believe that's the interaction for like 0.1 second, and be able to use ulti if needed. And yeah, so not much value on the dispelling things on yourself.
Do you think seeing that he might have wanted to go for the Battle Fury first?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about the Ags, it doesn't feel like that great of an idea.
Lasso bottom on the Winter Wyvern. Zhao Fu getting low, nobody coming over to rotate. They're taking a tier 1 top while this is going on. So they'll finish off the tower. They've got the siege creep to do so.
Tower is under attack.
And there it goes.
Dire's courier has been killed. Dire's top tower has fallen.
I mean, he still has time to switch to like Yasha into BKB if he wants to, because yeah, I mean, you can. What are you gonna dispel on them? Like you can dispel what? Void Spirit's Resonant Pulse. That's it. Rest is not dispellable.
We'll see if he commits, because he's just holding on to the Blade of Alacrity and 1,300 gold at the moment. Meanwhile, TA has the Deso. Just has to get that second Mithril Hammer delivered. 12 minutes in. 3K lead for Vici. This is something we talked about, I think, more so off-screen, was just how many times do you see a comeback like the one we saw in Game 1? Hold that thought. Shackle, power shot, Irving in trouble. Winter's Curse to keep Irving alive. See if they can commit everything to get the kill, and easily do with the Walrus Punch. Snowball over to DY. Erica trying to help out. The Astral Step going in deep, looking for PYW as well as Erica. They'll go for the Troll. They're in under the tier 2 tower. PYW ends up dying to Irving, but can Ori turn this around at all? Cold Embrace, they've got the dust, they'll get the kill onto Cat-U. Aether Remnant locked in is DY, falling is DY. MS gets the kill, they go after Erica, who pops the ult, trying to survive. There's no mana left for the TA. Erica just getting kited around, and now he's under the tier 2 tower and dead. Goes really well for LBZS, and they are continuing to stay under the tier 2. They need to get these heroes out. lose the Void Spirit. Jiaofu trying to smoke and leave. Not sure he's going to be able to do so. Power shot lands. They've got the trap, and Jiaofu will fall to Old 11. Now MS. Old 11, he doesn't have a blink dagger, so he can't blink on top, but
This was their timing. Like, you have a nighttime, you want to play aggressive. These heroes are very hard to catch. Like, you have Beaver, limited control on Vici Gaming, like Troll and TA. They don't provide any kind of stun or silence. Like Night Stalker plus the Void Spirit, also very elusive.
On a Cat U, Snowball to survive, going towards Old 11. So that's near PYW, who times the power shot on the Snowball. Shackle hits onto the Weaver. Old 11 surrounded by 4 heroes, but they've got the TA coming over. How much do they want to commit? They've got the Winter's Curse once again. They get the kill on Old 11. They throw the silence out, but Irving is in a bit far. Traps getting popped all over the place. The Melt Strike. Nice cold embrace. Shackle lands though on MS, and he can't get away. They lose 3 heroes going for Old 11. Not a good trade.
Holding him in game with some 6 shackles. And to go back to the talk about the itemization on Troll, really glad he did not go for that. Aghanim Scepter actually went for Yasha and has a BKB queued up because in theory, yes, most of the time that item feels really good, but after the discussion that we had, it doesn't really feel like you're going to get much value out of it.
Thanks.
Man, TA, always about to have Blink. Look at his net worth. He's so far ahead.
There's just some big numbers.
Void thrown out. How much do they want to commit? Snowball all the way to Old 11. Not a lot of
got the high
for Ori, but Old 11 gets away for the moment. However, the Aether Remnant's there. But the False Promise comes in from DY. Another save for this Oracle as they'll turn this around onto the Void Spirit. They've got the Shackle, the Land of Fortunes, and the damage is there. Erica gets credit for it. And another gank gone wrong for LBZS, now down 6K.
Tier 1 tower. They already killed it, and they're holding their Tier 1 tower mid. Pretty healthy, so next time they get a kill or 2, they can easily transition that into Roche. TA with the Deso, plus Vendranger. If she decides to put a point in a focus fire, like, should just be enough damage. Right now they're chasing it, even though it's a nighttime.
Winter's Curse, but not going to save Jiaofu. And you able to walk away.
Seems like there's some beef between Old 11 and Winter Wyvern, where he is just using ulti every single time on him.
Yeah, and only one has led to Old 11 dying.
Under attack.
Beaver's got that Maelstrom going. Lincoln's next up against this lasso of the Bat Rider. Fine DUI. Crippling Fear, he is silenced, doesn't have a False Promise, but he does have a Disarm. The Void is used, but is it worth your life, Irving, to go for the Oracle? No. Doesn't look to be so. And, well, Erica now grabbing another kill as he comes around to help.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So taking the tier 2 bottom, they get themselves the outpost at 17 minutes.
Not too bad. You know, they are controlling the map with the traps, a lot of sentries, but only one observer board. Near the
lasso.
outpost, there's the lasso.
Onto MS, the damage is there, the kill comes forth, and they're gonna look for Cat U. Flame Break and the shards kind of lead to a weird bounce for the Tusk, but dead nonetheless. There's 2 heroes dead on LBZS.
Tusk try to go for a play, get the snowball, and get the Beaver end just for like half a second to be able to use the time lapse, but not a good angle.
TA queues up the shard.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
I talked how Troll and TA, like 2 cores, don't provide any kind of silence, so right now with the trap, when you buy the shard, you can do it. But it's full duration, it's 3 seconds silence. That's not a joke, B-Cup.
Yeah, that's a long silence, and he's thinking about it. He's got the gold to commit. Just, you know, the timing's not right. He's a little early.
Now, he has too much farm. That's the only problem.
They'll go here for the Void Spirit, Old 11. with another kill there onto the Void Spirit. This is a little bit more of what we were expecting from Vici against LBZS.
I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a nighttime, so he should be able to buy a shard, but Night Stalker messing up with the night day timer. Let's go. Tier 1 tower, gone.
As well.
Right now, they're just snowballing, playing so aggressively, controlling the map. I feel like if they want to take a fight right now, like they should, because like Night Stalker is tanky, it's nighttime, so they should be able to take a fight. They still have, what, 1 minute and 10 seconds, plus 30 seconds from Dark Ascension, so almost 2 full minutes to do something.
Lasso on the Winter Wyvern. They want to fight without the Winter's Curse being a problem. Doesn't have buyback, or at least go into Roach without Winter's Curse being a problem.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Just a simple pick off, transition that into Roche. Wyvern is kind of the biggest threat to split up the fight. Shards.
Some top grabs the Aegis. Gonna try and chase, see what they can get. Cat U on the run. Snowball going over to Erica. MS gets hit by the power shot, so Snowball will hit the Troll as well as the Walrus Punch, but only extending the inevitable as he loses his life once again, dead for the 5th time this game. Look like they want to fight. At least feinting their positioning. They got 4 heroes here. BKB's pop by Erica goes after MS. First hit Root in some trouble, forced to use the time-lapse early on in engagement. Back away from this one. So Ori, who is a little early on getting the shard, has so much gold, he goes to the BKB first.
Sometimes shards can be like a debate, but I think he actually bought the shard. I think he actually did. Yeah, it's Mithril Hammer and the shard. On certain heroes, like this is my point, where yeah, it feels good, but like BKB is always going to be a BKB. Yule Scepter, Ghost Scepter. In certain situations, you're going to get so much more value out of it.
Again, Meteor Hammer, the Snowball. It's there for the save. But is it enough to get him out? He's going to Astral Step as well as use that Aether Remnant to lock down PYW, but Old 11 right up on him. Shackle doesn't connect anywhere.
Lasso in 3. Like, he's going in. Young 11, Blink Dagger canceled for 3 seconds.
He did go back for the shard on the TA. Finally hits that 20-minute mark, becomes available, picks it up. Thought he might finish the BKB first. But I like the silence. This shard is really good, it seems. Especially, you know, your team doesn't really have a silence to work with. Now you've got one.
Yeah,
3-second silence.
Long duration, like long cooldown ability. Lasso, and you have a Shackle.
Ooh,
there's the Lasso.
Play there from Old 11. Uses the Flame Break, bounces him closer, has the Lasso. Irving dead to rights. And then back over towards mid. Snowball, Walrus Punch, going for the Troll, pops the BKB, has the ulti available, will just run for the moment.
Next time, be quick.
Yasha, BKB, Basher going into the Abyssal Blade.
DUI, this is the 2nd time he's using a cell that he bought with his own gold. Pay attention, this is not a shovel. And using it on Troll, like you want to keep that item all the time whenever you're playing Oracle to get the maximum value out of the False Promise. Let's see if he decides to bring another one.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I heard that on one of the broadcasts once. Always be holding a salve on Oracle.
And there it is. Just buys another one. Has 1,500 gold saved up. So could
Blink
possibly be... Nah, could be a Blink. Could be a Glimmer Cape. I think you get a lot of value from Glimmer.
TA finishing that BKB. And now it's on to a Daedalus.
Straight up damage. Like, she goes in, just rips apart. Once she finishes that up, like, can easily 2-shot Winter Wyvern. Wyvern also trying to get some farm, even though she is a position 5 in this game. Oh, let's see that silence.
Trap comes
pretty
in,
big.
silence is on, nowhere to jump.
Tower is under attack.
Finally, Dissimulate, getting some distance, silences up Erica. Winter's Curse again used defensively.
Told you there is some beef. From the pub game, Old 11 must have done something.
Dire's
We'll take a
top
look at
tower
match history
is
after
under
this one.
attack.
Sounds good. Let me know. Imagine you check it and there's like 0% win rate when they play together. So
Gotta get
TA pushing the high ground with that Deso. Still 30 seconds left on Aegis.
Let's see if LBZS jump on the timing of Aegis, if they've got it timed right. Aether Remnant hits on the behind hero of PYW. They go for the Walrus Punch, but there's the False Promise. That's going to save the save the Windrunner. They go for Cat U. Again, the Cold Embrace comes in, but it's not going to keep Cat U alive. Dominating for Erica. Ori getting low. They find Irving. Fortune's End with the Shackle. They'll take it a second. They both buy back. They go after Erica and finish him. Now, their eyes are on the TA. Flamebreak hits
5
both
seconds.
the Tusk as well as the Weaver, but is it going to be enough? Finally take out the Aegis, but it was about to expire. Might have been better worth waiting as they go towards the back lines, look for DY. He doesn't have False Promise anyway, but he ends up dying. Meteor Hammer coming through. No, he's going to blink away and try to escape as Old 11 takes out Jiaofu. Now with the TP, does he get out? The Aether Remnant's there, stops the TP away, and takes out PYW.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Silence on
Silence.
Beaver. Now, Lincoln Sphere's not going to save you from that.
He's got the
sentry-
damage.
Oh, man, what a play from Ori.
Ori just playing with his food, and now Old 11 drop to the Void Spirit. Ori thinking about it.
And they also lost the gem. Like, Batratter was holding a gem there, but yeah, sick play from Ori there. They extended a bit. You know, they were waiting for that Roshan timer. Did not want to hit the Templar Assassin, allow her to regen up. She also used the BKB while holding the Aegis, something that we usually don't see. And the reason why they fell back and tried to defend her.
The silence is deadly from these traps. Down 16,000 net worth. You've got...
And we've seen bigger comebacks.
Yeah, already today. That being said, Vici have taken the mid-tier 3. That was something that LBZS in the last game had failed to do. Trying to take the outpost. Cat U now on the run from the Troll. Shackle comes in. It's PYW, so
Oh,
it's
boy.
landing every time. Taking the Tusk. Get themselves another one.
Still a long way until he gets that Blink
Dire's
Dagger.
middle tower is
Viper
under attack.
getting some farm. Shackle does not connect, but yeah, Viper can scale, even as position 5, where you get like 50 damage talent, possibly get that Orchid, works really well with your Renter's Curse,
Lasso.
but you know, that's
Onto
not
the
gonna
Winter
save you
Wyvern.
if you're positioned badly.
Cold Embrace trying to stay alive, but the power shot is in from PYW to swipe that one. This is a pick off that
Yeah,
is right by the
PYW,
base.
that stands for Power Shot U Wyvern, I believe.
Radiant's
So
middle
more than one
barracks are
beat.
under attack.
is what you're saying.
Dire's
Yeah,
top
because
tower
PYW has named himself specifically
Dire's
against this
structures
Winter
are
Wyvern.
fortified.
Seems like an easy Raxus.
Radiant's middle
LBZS does not
barracks
want
has
to
fallen.
contest this. They just get the melee
Radiant's
ones
middle
and
barracks are under
get the hell
attack.
out. Roche, let's see the respawn timer. Might respawn in 5 seconds.
Vanished, but not gone.
Minute 44. So DY did end up picking up that blink. We don't have vision of the Void Spirit right under the nose of DY. Doesn't want to give up that he's right here with this gem. Xiaofu coming over, as is Tusk. But there's nobody to go on at this point. You've got Erica now with the Abyssal finished off. the farm is out of control for the side of Vici. I will say though, MS, he's not too far behind.
Yeah, MS is doing okay.
Radiant are scanning.
It's still
Dire's
not enough
bottom
damage
tower is under
until
attack.
he gets that MKB. Yeah, like Lincoln's is a very costly item.
Smoke.
Kind of must have here against the Shackle and the Lasso. Smoke holding the high ground.
Right nearby, Lincoln's pop, Shackle hits, they've got the Lasso, they get the kill on MS. The rest of the team was on the high ground on the opposite side of the mid lane and not there to help. Vici knocking on the door bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Looking
under attack.
primed and ready to go. No trouble going to the high ground, 50 seconds without the Weaver.
No buyback invested in MKB recipe. So this feels like it's gonna be, I'm not gonna say a free set of Raxes, but still, okay, they decide not to go for it. Yeah, because the big man has respawned and they have vision of it. Oracle was keeping Courier inside the pit, so they're like, yeah, we're just gonna play it safe, go into Roche pit, get the cheese and Aegis, and then pressure the high ground once again.
So Erica starts it off. They've got the Meteor Hammer coming in from PYW. Ori hits away. Everybody here for Vici ready to go on this Roche. They're coming over on LBZS. It's just not quick enough. They're without the Weaver too, so taking this fight 4v5, ill-advised, if anything.
Troll holding on to cheese. TA with the Aegis. Like, yeah, you want your Troll to hold the cheese. I don't think he can be bursted. 2000 HP, especially with Oracle sitting behind him with the Blink Dagger to close the gap. Full Daedalus on TA on top of that.
Hey, where'd I go?
Ori just holding on to a net worth lead over the Troll.
What can I say? Nature
Radiant's
loves
Going
top tower
Swift
is
Blink
under
next.
attack.
This might be it. Like, LBZS, they lose a fight. It's game for them.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Orb of Destruction, Quickening Charm dropping. Things that don't look like they're going to help that much. They've got the Meteor Hammer as well as the last, so they get the kill on MS once again. This time he's got buyback, but he has died once more away from his team. There's the Orchid for the Winter Wyvern, just too little too late. Down. 24,000 net worth, but again, game's not over just yet. Jiaofu though, this life.
What did I say 10 minutes ago, B-Cup? Like, once Templar Assassin gets Daedalus, Wyvern will get two-shotted, and it's exactly what happens. No buyback, just bought that Orchid, not too much value out of it.
Is under attack.
So they go for the tier 3,
Bottom tower has fallen.
and they are going to look to finish the game.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
There's not much to defend with. Weaver's holding buyback. Winter Wyvern still dead for 10 more seconds.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
I
See if
mean,
they can
maybe
get
the
anything
mentality
Radiant's
is
middle
stay
barracks
in the
is
game.
falling.
Vici Gaming pulled off big comeback in the previous one. Let's hope something similar can happen in this one. But you need to click the buttons
Radiant's top
instead of
tower
sitting in a
is falling.
fountain.
I'm surprised Weaver held the buyback all the way through. When are they going to try and fight? They'll go with the Walrus Punch, but there's the Abyssal Blade used onto Cat U. They throw Shackle over the Winter Wyvern, and they get the Cone of the Tusk. He'll buy back immediately. Now the Silence coming through onto the TA. Do they have the damage to get this kill?
Oh, the Lotus Orb
the
Snowball.
Lotus Snowball to save him, but it won't save him for long. He's low on a minuscule amount of health, finally popping that Aegis. They get the kill onto Irving. They'll take on the Night Stalker, and now they'll look to control up the TA. In a little bit deeper, the damage onto
900
MS. And there's the Winter's Curse, I believe, reflected again. Old 11 is on it with this Lotus Orb, and so is Vici. They will take game 2. They will sweep the series and finish off LBZS.
Yeah, seemed pretty easy for Vici Gaming after making that huge comeback in the previous one. I think it really affected LBZS, how they're going to play this game. Like, you could feel them in their movement around the map, the way they drafted. I said it in the previous game, like, it was their game to lose. Somehow they managed to do it, and yeah, second game was very quick and easy execution coming out from Vici.
Yeah, Vici doing a very good job. Really holding on to this one. We didn't see anything from like LBZS did in game one. Vici here, they just went to the high ground. They had everything going, and I guess that's the difference in experience.
Yeah.
But to break it down a little bit more, we'll send it over to the panel. Back to you, Nomad and Lizard and Black.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, a convincing series in the end from Vici Gaming. Game number 1 looking a little bit rough, but they pull it together in game number 2 and make a showing of LBZS. This is why they're the invited teams, right, lads?
Yep.
Can I just mention real quick? Do you hear that? He was like, back to Nomad, Lizard, and Black. What was that about?
What was that about for real?
Yeah.
Like, why are you last? What order is
Why am I
that?
last, and why am I being like specially like why does he use like a special voice?
And you sit in the middle.
Yeah, it's not how we're sitting for sure. Maybe it's in like I don't know. Maybe it's in order of attractiveness. From first to last, from last to first, I don't know.
You never know.
We'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask him. But
Look, everyone knows that BCOP is a big China fan when it comes to Dots. Out of us 3, you're the only one that played over there. You're the only one that had those Asian teams. So I think that's it. I think he has some special affection towards you.
Well, I think you're just going into it a bit too much, but but yeah.
I mean, you asked, dude. Like you started this.
I appreciate your feedback. I really do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
like I think it's ask stupid questions, get stupid answers, unfortunately. But this was not a stupid answer to LBZS. They had exactly the right answers for it. I mean, this Batrider crushed this game, and then the TA crushed the game. And I mean, all the cores were crushing the game. It was just a crushing from start to finish, really. Easy peasy.
Yeah, like the draft, as we said, they were just going to win their lanes. They even swapped around a little bit to give the Batrider an easier lane, which I actually quite like. They just put the Batrider against the Night Stalker. Night Stalker doesn't like to play against Batrider also. And then Weaver has a lot of problems against the Troll tri-lane. And they kept trying to swap around, but it never really worked out. And yeah, the course just snowballed, and there wasn't much I could do.
So difficult to execute this. Like that last lineup, like you can see the potential in the aggressiveness, and you can see that Vici Gaming can fall to that. But in this game, like Black, Lacoste, they both said it. Like, yeah, you're trying to adjust your lanes. You put Weaver plus Tusk, which is, for me, it's one of the strongest lanes in the game. Like Weaver Tusk, you get the attack team plus the Geminate attack plus the Sukuchi. It's a lot of damage, but you don't really kill any of these heroes that easily. Batrider will fly over ice shards. Troll, you don't kill him if you have an Oracle next to him. So it's just a very difficult game for LBZS. Plus, Vici Gaming were playing out of their mind. Like those shackles on Weaver were on point. They were catching them off guard constantly. PYW is the man of the series for me, for sure.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. But just going back to the game again, Rico, I think the biggest weakness of LBZS is just the drafting. Both games, I feel. The first game, of course, they played very well, so they gave themselves a shot. But overall, the draft was still very iffy. The second game, same thing. Like, if they need to fletch something out, it's definitely their drafting for me, like throughout this entire league.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I have to return to this point. They have a couple of series behind them in the last 10 days. Vici Gaming, they do not. Vici Gaming can draft their own thing and ban out everything from LBZS, right? That was their biggest issue. You don't see their heroes. Like their main cores that they won with, that they've played very successfully with, have been banned out or stolen by Vici Gaming.
There we see. Amazing Windrunner performance.
There he is, looking fresh. Looking very, very fresh. That's a lot of assists. A stunning game from the Windrunner with loads of shackles, and the Batrider getting those key kills early on the core heroes, run down the Weaver, which isn't supposed to happen. Weaver should not die in lane. I think that's kind of part of playing the heroes, that you really don't want to be dying when you're making those aggressive movements. But, sometimes things just don't go by the book, and, the best teams will be able to adapt, overcome. Unfortunately, LBZS didn't do that in this second game. And you could kind of feel, they were still scarred from game number 1. They felt like they had that one in the bag. They didn't do so. And then you see kind of the mental weight in game number 2. And they're just not really able to bring much to the table in the second match. And, you guys say draft. I think, we also the mental factors come into play as well. And overall, it just looks like a really, really rough second game. But, there's still plenty of Dota to come. It's a long, long league. It's not about these early games. It's not really about kind of who wins or who loses. It's about who learns the most, who's able to improve the most. Because if you do improve, then you will be able to take some games later on in the tournament and possibly get yourself that important high placement, which you really, really need. But yeah, VG Gaming off to a great start. From this performance today, you guys a little bit more convinced about their swapping ups they had just before the tournament?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. Not really. If you match them up against a team that just qualified, then yeah, they're great. But what happens when they face Elephant? Like,
I mean, I could tell from game one that Erika is very, very timid, very inexperienced. Like the way he team fought, other than on the high ground, he was pretty much perfect there. But it's much easier if you're like on your own high ground, you know, on your own terms.
it's the easiest, but like
Yeah,
the next step is the fountain that you're standing.
Yeah, he played really great from Fountain.
But before that, you know, in those team fights, he was very timid. He was even scared to just hit once, you know, because of his like positioning and everything. So he has a lot to learn and a lot to grow in just 2 months, which is a very big and tall order.
Yep.
Like, but if he matches up against someone like Paparazzi, like I don't see them doing as well.
Yeah, you can see that there is an exploitable weak link in their draft so far, in their team composition, that is. So it might be problematic for them down the road. This series, obviously, they found a way to work around it, but down the road, can get iffy.
Especially as we spoke about it, right? Hard carry meta. If your hard carry is considered the weaker link. Then
yeah, I'm not sure I agree completely with the... of course, it's a hard carry meta. Hard carry is going to carry it eventually, and mid laners right now are playmakers. But it's a little bit, let's say, it's a little bit more balanced out across the map than it was in the last patch, in which you had that Sven and Spectre, and literally everyone is just useless after they get farm, right? Like you can't kite them, you can't fight against them. They're just battling it out. How many games did you see in which Spectre and Sven just survive and then they're battling it out 1v1 for like...
Yeah, happy to see those guys, though, taking a side seat, as we've got some different interesting carries coming into it. But we do have the standings available to have a look at. You know, only one game so far in the upper division, but the lower division is where we've had a few more games, and we can see the winners and the losers. I think, obviously, the biggest surprise is RNG losing out their first game. I believe that was against SAG, Sparkling Arrow Gaming, which is very interesting, especially considering RNG actually bought God King off SAG a couple of months back now. So them losing their opening game to them is a real shock to the system for the RNG fans out there. Any other surprises there for you guys?
I mean, SAG, I mean, first of all, that they're both in the lower division, of course, because SAG was like the first Chinese team to win the first LAN tournament they had like a long time ago. After they kind of just broke up.
Really good, and then unfortunately.
Now they're both in the lower bracket, and yeah, I mean, RNG actually I thought is one of the favorites, but dropped the first game. But again, SAG would be the other favorite for me, so it's not a terrible loss, you know. But yeah, you expect more from yourself, like if you're like a name like RNG, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just the first series, though, and probably the main matchup of the group of the lower divisions. So who knows? Maybe RNG just wipes everyone else off.
True. But then, you know, they'll never play again. That's the thing, isn't it? You only get one chance due to the round robin, unless you meet again in tiebreakers. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. And we're going to be crumbling some cookies in our break, which we're just about to jump to. But then we're going to be back with the next series of the day. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you later for eHome versus Team Magma. Buenos dias, everybody, and welcome back to the DPC China League. My name is Mehmet. Joining me is Lizard and Black as we get back into the second series of the day. And this time, we're faced with a lovely, lovely treat of Team Magma versus Team eHome. Now, once again, it's an invited team versus a qualifying team. So naturally, we're expecting Magma to be the underdogs. You know, game number 1 today kind of showed that the underdogs can still stand a chance, but in the end, Vici did pull through. But Black, you tagged this one to be the closest series out of the two today. Why is that?
Simply because I've followed Magma a little bit even before the open qualifiers, and they have always put up a really good fight, even against the better teams. And it just feels like, you know, like if there were more invited teams, they were probably like pretty close on the how to be, when to get invited list. You know, probably like 5th or 6th. So out of the qualified teams, I think they're probably the team with the biggest chance of causing upsets.
No, out of the qualifier teams, I think they did the best in the qualifier as well. They won versus LBZS versus IG as well.
They won the first qualifier, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Which is like you basically beat all the best teams, and then the second qualifier, if you win that, then.
But there are some different parallels in this game too. So we have a different carry coming for eHome as well, right? Black, you know him.
Ajit, yeah.
Yeah, Ajit.
He's
well.
actually a Malaysian player. From
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him before. He's not unexperienced. We've seen him in different teams. But then again, we have another invited team with a different carry.
Yeah. It seems to be kind of like a trend, not only in China, but also other regions where people just like last minute make a change because of some personal difference.
Yeah, internal issues.
Yeah, like even Dendy's team also. One guy like.
No, Dendy's team, 5 up.
5 up.
I actually had him in a pub a few days ago, and he was like, "I'm not good for this. I'm not good for anything." Like, he was very down about it a little bit. Yeah, but Dendy's not playing too because of COVID, and that he actually has, sadly. Wishing him all the best.
COVID?
Yeah.
All the best, man. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the best. Hopefully makes full recovery. But yeah, back to the series at hand. Of course, Magma, one of the newer teams. So for those people who don't know, how does this Magma team function? You know, are they like the classic Chinese team where they're playing around their carry, or are they more of like a split even team?
Yeah, you're completely down with the first thing that you said. That's completely right. And when you look at eHome, they're also a complete Chinese team. Like when you think about the way they play, and you can see similarities in drafts. Like both of these teams, they like their hard carries, like your Arc Wardens, your Medusas, and we might see some parallels there. Maybe some of these will be banned out. We see something like mid lane Lycan with Jug on safe lane as well that they like to draft. Like we just talked about that. Like Lycan, I mean, every patch, I have a feeling that this hero is broken. Like, what's happening here? Every patch, for the first 2 weeks, Lycan buys Necros and kills me. Can someone explain why?
I think that's just a guy at Valve that really likes dogs. Like, he just really likes doggies, and he's just like, yep, every patch.
Look, I have 2. I love dogs, but I don't like Lycan. I don't love that
well,
particular
that's because it's wolves. Different. Wolves are like dogs, but more aggressive, basically, right?
I have Malamute.
There's a lot of differences.
I have Malamute, which is the closest to the wolf you can get as a dog. So, but he's not aggressive at all. He's a fool.
The closest you can get to a wolf as a human.
Definitely. I don't doubt that for a second.
In case you didn't know, when it turns full moon, I'm not there.
Oh.
It's day 1.
Where
so
are you? Where are you exactly?
I mean, I don't know.
All right.
I don't remember anything. No, but like what you said about the, you know, they like have like the very Chinese style. That's what worries me a bit about eHome now, because Ajit is not really like a super hard carry player. Like he actually loves to play his heroes like Puck, or you know, the space making kind of heroes. So I'm a little bit worried for eHome whether they can get away with that hard carry strategy or not. That is like so successful in this patch.
All right, yeah, the SCA blood as well, right? That's it can be problematic.
Yeah, he's a very kind of on-brand player for SCA, isn't he? But whether that fits into Chinese Dota remains to be seen. And of course, Xnova as well. You know, he's been playing in China for a long, long time, but also a Malaysian player. And there's also the 2 players from LGD, right? Chalice and Xnova are in eHome, and then 2 of them are in Vici, and then one of them still remaining in LGD. So they've kind of like split up.
So, what do you think? who would you count as better, like Ori and the other one, or Xnova and Chalice? Like, which side would you take? If you could take, if that team is breaking apart in the middle, where would you go? Would you go with Xnova or would you go with Ori?
As a carry player, Xnova.
Xnova.
Yeah. I'm good friends with him.
He's amazing. He's
a
cool.
great guy.
Yeah,
He's a great guy. I don't know too much about Ori. I'm sure he's also a nice guy.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm good friends with Xnova, so I would be on his side.
Right, I see.
Obviously, he would also love to be on my side because I'm just a beast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wolfman, beast. Yeah, I mean,
I
who wouldn't?
Like, what is my weakness? I'm too nice. So anyway, what do you think?
I think you're nice as well, Black.
No, not about me, but about.
I see. Right, about the actual Dota.
We don't need to talk about me.
Okay, we'll stop talking about you for a minute then.
Yeah.
I really like Xnova as well. You know, he's a lovely guy. He's on Twitter as well. He's just really nice. Always bigging up the tier 2 casters as well. He's just lovely. But yeah, so for me, it's too hard. My emotions get in the way. If I'm ignoring my heart. Honestly, like, Chalice and Xnova is kind of like that combo, right? You know, that 5 and that 3 position, which always played together so well. I think I do have to say home in that as well. But yeah, obviously, you know, a lot has changed since those days. But those two still kind of share that bond, and they seem to be very close, and they make teams work.
Yeah, there's this trend, very old trend in EU, in which if something isn't working in your team, you just kick the position 5.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, you just kick the position 5 and you get that refreshment and you kind of make it work with the new one, but then you
for like a week.
And then you fall back again to your old habits, right? Yeah. Like position 5s are rarely the problem why the team doesn't work, but they also carry that burden of captaining most of the time, and that's where the biggest responsibility really is in teams.
Sure, but I mean, I feel is like one of the biggest weaknesses of tier 2 and below teams, especially in Europe and CIS, that just causes so much instability, you know? It's not always the support's fault. Like when you look at China, they don't make super many roster changes on the fly, you know? Like they try for a month, 2, maybe 3 sometimes, because first of all, they're much more serious with the contracts and everything, but also because they actually want to find out what is the problem, you know? Like you can't just make changes every week and expect to be super good.
Right. So look, I had the same exact idea in some of my teams, and I was so wrong, like trying to figure it out as a team when there's literally one player that doesn't work as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I completely agree with you, and I think you should stick. Like my mentality was always stick as a team, figure it out together. But when there's someone that doesn't work, when there's someone that's just lacking on the side, just kick him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if that's the case, yeah, but like
on that level,
it's not always the +5 that's lacking.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course.
Like whoever it is, you know, if somebody is slacking and the others are working much harder, and you told him that, and he still doesn't fix it, yeah, then you need to find a team that's more suitable for you.
Some lower division team, perhaps. Maybe some pubs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of more true. We see in the kind of tier 2 scene, we see a lot of these 5 stacks kind of sticking together for a long time. Maybe sometimes longer than they should, but then the other ones, they do find that magic, like Liquid and Viking from EU. But, you know, like some of these, Magma have been together quite such a long time now.
There's a magic word that, Dominic, that Black just said, and that's contract. Like you can't do it in Europe because you're not contracted. You're not contracted. You don't have an organization. And then when Secret comes calling for Nisha, that's playing for alternate attacks for like $250 a month, like he's not gonna think about it. He's gonna leave, of course. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same goes for Saberlight, who was with Hippomaniacs for a really long time. So in China, it's different. Obviously, if you're serious about it, if you have a contract, if you're earning money, then why would you risk that for some stupid changes? You know?
I mean, you can also like tell. You know, there's all these stories about like. Transfer fees of like $500,000 in China. All this. No way will you ever hear that in Europe or like anywhere right now. Really, yeah, it's just China.
What was the biggest transfer fee here? It was for Ramses, I think, from Virtus Pro to EG, right?
Yeah, but what was that? I don't even know.
I heard speculations about numbers, but it was around 100 maybe K.
Yeah.
There was also GPK's buyout from Gambit, which was extremely high. But that was so high that no one even wanted to do it. They just waited. Same with FNG, I think, or maybe it wasn't quite as high for FNG, but I know certainly Gambit put very high buyouts on their players. So like it's hard to actually buy the players out, and they're one of a couple of organizations which do that. But in China, you know, it's always like that. If you want to get a player from another team, then you better come with money on the table and a good deal. Otherwise, they're just gonna laugh at you.
Actually, I feel like, you know, a lot of European and CIS companies and stuff, they just put like an absurd number just to kind of like block them, you know?
Yeah.
You, like, to anybody out there who signs a contract, you have to read everything. Like, don't just be like, yeah, now I'm gonna make some money playing Dota. You have to really, you know, like I come from a time, like I've been playing like 13, 14 years professionally. Back then, the contracts were way more abusive, you know? Like nowadays, it's like much more like equal, you know? But you still gotta like read everything. Life advice with Black.
So your advice is great when you're living in a well-developed Western country. When like for me, when I was coming up and I'm signing a contract, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like I'll sign it. Like who's gonna come hunt me in some Bosnia? I'm just saying that some of these contracts that I've signed throughout the years also weren't really respected by the organization too. To their word as well, right? Because they're like, okay, what are you actually going to do?
You're not going to enforce anything.
Yeah, you're not going to enforce. The worst thing that can happen is you go public about it, right? And you trash talk them and
Twitter
that's
post.
It. Yeah, you
didn't pay me.
Twitter.
The dreaded twit longer.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's it.
Yeah, but nowadays it's like obviously much more scary. As like esports in general gets more developed, you know, people take this much more seriously. They will actually put like actions on you, you know, like legal actions.
I have a question for you, Black. What was not the highest amount that you ever won on a tournament? What was the lowest amount that you won? Can you remember it?
You mean just prize money?
Yeah, prize money.
Okay, so
exactly.
If we're talking just lowest ever, it would probably just be before money was even involved.
Okay, not before money, with money, like with money.
Okay, probably 500, so like $100.
That's solid.
Yeah, I think the last place in the tournament was like...
he's definitely getting beaten. I'm not going to even go into contests.
Like $100.
Yeah, well, that's solid. What was the tournament? Can you remember?
No, I don't know. It was like super far back. It's probably just as Dota2 started.
Was it Dota 1 or Dota 2?
Dota 2.
Yeah.
Lizard, what about you? Well, what's your lowest winnings?
It's not in Dota. Like in Dota, it's probably some also like $200. No. I remember we played. So
it's coming.
It's coming. So just listen to these names: Viha, Mind Control, like probably half of today's Nigma. Nisha Nisha was too young back then. But there was this tournament called League of Dota. It was ran once a week on Sunday. You literally play the whole day from the morning. It's all best of ones. From the morning, like at let's say noon up until midnight, you earn $50. $50. In the finals, it was always we. Literally his stack versus my stack. Literally every Sunday.
How many times did you win?
I won quite a. That's literally how I made money back then. Like I was earning, like I was winning versus his stack quite often. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay,
price.
interesting.
Very good. Yeah, that earning that 50. Well, I take that was $50 each, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No, trust me. Back then it was not.
No, it was not $50 each, man.
Oh dear.
But it was stable and they paid out. Because some tournaments you play, you don't even know if they pay, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Yeah.
I've had some dreading experiences.
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish, which we won't get into today. But fortunately, we're having some coordinator issues. The draft is going to be just around the corner, hopefully. But of course, you know, we can't decide what the Valve server's deciding to do today, unfortunately. But guys, looping back into to the meta, what are your favorite shards of the patch so far? Which ones have you enjoyed playing with? And which ones are just downright awful?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I've loved... Okay, down one... Just awful shard straight off the bat. First, Broken Hero, most useless shard ever. OD. I just can't. It's just so bad.
Dude, I love how you stand there.
Obviously, I
dude.
know, but for the viewers, what
But
does it do?
listen, there is use. I
Okay,
bought
okay.
it once because I was playing versus a Rubik, and he would steal a imprisonment, and they would win a team fight just by imprisoning different targets on Rubik, right? So I bought a shard just to use that spell after imprisoning, so he steals a useless spell, and then I laughed at him in old chat. That's it.
What is it? Is it to swap?
So what the spell does is
Health
like
and
you,
mana.
you swap 75% of your mana to your health. So like they say you have like 4k mana, you get like 3k health. But the problem is it has 1.5 seconds cast time where you just stand there and do like this weird animation thing.
I see what the fist bumping was about. I think
it's
it's really pumped.
It's so bad.
And I'm also not sure if it's max mana or if it's the mana that
Current mana, current mana,
which
yeah.
makes it even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you always have mana on OD, but still, it's like
Yeah. But then after that, because your ult is also based on current mana, you like basically deal like 1.5k less damage with your ult.
You just ruin yourself. You ruin yourself in every possible way.
Well, you know, after you've used it, I don't know. It does sound pretty awful, though. I think I'm pretty sold. I was going to go for the Leshrac shard. I think the Leshrac shard is pretty awful.
Really?
It's like a... Oh, yeah, you
multiple
cast Split
split
Earth, and then it's got like a 5-second delay, and then another Split
Yeah,
Earth.
but in a Roche pit or something, it gets bigger, you know,
yeah,
the
I mean,
radius.
that's like the one point where it's like, yeah, okay, you can delay
There's
Roche
some
with
use.
it,
There's
but
some use.
there is a
definitely.
use.
He's not a
but-
believer.
Yeah, he doesn't believe. Like
One thing I do like, though, is if you have a setup stun and you have a Yules, and you can save your Yules, use the setup stun from like your other hero, Atos or whatever, and then Yules them after the first hit, and then they'll come down and they'll have like half a second to get away from the second stun, which you usually can't
And
do.
another use, if you get hit by the
so-
third stun, your stun is off cooldown again, you can stun him again. Because it's only
True,
like
if
9
they
seconds cooldown.
decide to stand in the same place for 15
I mean,
seconds.
sometimes you
then-
don't have a choice, you know?
know?
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
True. If you're rooted for 15 seconds, I think you have other issues. But anyway,
Probably.
Vlad, do you have any particularly useless shards you've been enjoying?
Useless.
Enjoying hating? I mean, it's literally Hoodwink shard, which is literally useless because it doesn't do
Yeah,
anything.
He doesn't have
You
one,
know?
right?
That's a technical answer.
It's funny that you can still buy it, but it doesn't,
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Just like Aghanims.
yeah, Aghanim.
What is like useless? Like Odie is definitely the most useless for me, but
Okay.
Visage's shard is a bit better, but
what does that do?
Yeah.
it's stone form. Like you drop down like a bird.
Isn't it like 70-second cooldown or something
Yeah,
crazy?
it's very
like,
long.
it's really long for some
But you can
reason.
kind of use it, you know, if the team
Yeah.
fight is going really poorly or something, you can save yourself, let's say. His
Vanish is
Aghanims,
always good.
however, is goddamn
Oh,
broken.
it's so fun. It completely
the
changes the
flying
hero.
invis thing.
Flying Invis, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You become old Nick Suss and where you just fly across the map doing whatever you want to
So
do.
strong.
Like, it's really fun. It completely changes the hero as well. You go from like being quite tied to lanes for a hero which struggles with mobility to being a hero which kind of just flies around the map. You know, you just don't have a care in the world. You just
Yeah.
look for heroes and have fun.
How about we talk about strong shards instead?
Please, continue.
Okay,
Kick us off.
Okay, so my
Black.
favorite shard, 100% is Bristleback. Where you, like,
Oh, yeah,
where
the
like the
ball.
hairball. It's called hairball. You just spit at them, and you get 2 stacks of quill spray and 1 stack of goo.
Hairball.
Hairball. It is actually so good, you know, like when you run away, you get like 4 stacks of spray on you, and then you turn around and you hairball them,
Yeah.
and then you lose like 600 health instantly, and they're like, whoa, what the hell happened? It's actually really good.
So another shard that's really good that actually counters his hero more, not completely but a little bit, Silencer. So his shard
Oh, yeah.
gives him glaives like Mona. Well, it's only 1 hit, but you still int from both hits.
But it only deals half damage. It only deals
Only
half
deals half damage, but you steal int from
Yeah,
both
yeah.
heroes. So you just melt through everyone, and you steal their int, so they don't have mana to spam quill spray, let's say. So it's pretty nice. I like it.
It's pretty tasty. It's
Just
pretty
be
tasty.
smarter.
Just be smarter, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Bloodseeker one a lot. I mean, it's really boring. It is like by far the most boring shard in the game, but it's pretty good. It gives him feast basically. He does he heals and deals
The old
2%
feast,
of
yeah.
their was it 1.5% or 2% of their total health pool. Yeah, it's basically old feast. So pretty boring, but considering the hero now has a Q which gives him an insane amount of attack speed. It works out pretty nicely, and you can turn into a bit of an unexpected tank. You know, you just turn around and man fight the enemy carry, and they're like, "That's a Bloodseeker. Why is he doing that?" No one's quite figured it out yet. But
Shard on Spirit Breaker isn't that bad as well. Like
Oh, the
pretty
break
good.
thing, right?
the break thing plus magic immune after using it. You're magic immune for like 2-3 seconds.
You know, I realized this patch they introduced so many break mechanics.
Exactly. That's the first
Yeah.
thing I saw. That's
Like
the first
Spectre.
thing.
PA has a break, Spirit Break has a break, Viper has a break, Hoodwink has a
with ulti
break.
as
Yeah.
well,
oh yeah, true.
I mean, there's so many shards that suddenly just have breaks.
Yeah.
Out of heroes, you would never expect it.
I think it's one of the reasons why Spectre falls off right off the bat, right? Like you give all these heroes breaks. Like imagine before Spectre is picked, you suddenly don't have a hero with break mechanic, and you're kind of doomed in the drafting stage itself, right?
Yeah.
And right now, like if you have 2 picks left, you can kind of adjust to it. You can pick some hero on any position that has a break, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice little way to counter Spectre, who was previously really strong.
Or any hero with passive that is.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, hear me out. So,
Alright.
Ricky, right? One of the most meta carries right now.
Yep.
But listen to this. You play him pos 4, which most people would see as griefing, right? But you can actually trade fairly well. You can interrupt pulls and everything, you know, if you actually play it properly.
Okay.
But then after that, you build into Meteor Hammer, and then minute 20, you buy the shard, which puts people to sleep for 3 seconds. You sleep them, and then you Meteor Hammer them. It's a huge amount of damage, and it's a really good setup for your team.
So one problem that I see in this build, first and foremost, let me say I love Ricky position 4. I actually think that it's back.
Oh my god.
With the amount of armor, region, and utility that you have in the lane, I actually think Ricky 4 should be back, should be played again.
Okay.
But it's always like that. You see these heroes that are completely busted, like OD, let's say. Everyone is playing it offlane. Why not play it mid? Like this hero is just as strong right now on mid. You're gonna destroy people with the amount of damage that you deal, right? Like he's still strong on mid as well, even though everyone is like experimenting 4 and 5. Same goes with Ricky. Like you can play him 4, but he's just such a strong carry at the moment.
Yeah,
it's expensive to buy all those items. Yeah.
Of course it is, but it's very fun.
Yep. Definitely.
It kind of seems to be the way that things go, though. You know, like eventually you notice these strong heroes, and then like Team Secret or OG or someone play them as a pos 4, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh well, yeah, we can do this as well with them, and now you can just pick it and flex it, because obviously flexing stuff in the draft is really strong. So if you show that you can play a hero in the pos 4, then you know they just have to ban the hero against you. Otherwise, your draft's going to be a nightmare when they take this strong hero and you can play it in 2 different ways. I think that's one of the biggest things about drafting, which gets overlooked sometimes, the ability to flex these certain heroes. Yeah. So out of all those shards and all those Aghanims changes, you know, there's some really fun ones in there, and a lot of fun heroes. But yeah, I'm not sure I can get. I don't know. Maybe I can get behind Ricky for with the Meteor Hammer. Is that how you're building him, with Meteor Hammer as well? Or?
No. I actually haven't thought about that, but